wallets are in danger. To save them and our finances, we must find the 4 ATMs before our loved ones see how much we've spent. It is our mission.
Toys! Toys, yeah! Toys, toys, toys! So many freaking toys! Toys, 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 toys! Techno wages his battle to find somewhere to display all his toys! No shelving space!
Our wallets are in danger. To save them and our finances, we must find the 4 ATMs before our loved ones see how much we've spent. It is our mission.
Toys! Toys, yeah! Toys, toys, toys! So many freaking toys! Toys, 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 toys! Techno wages his battle to find somewhere to display all his toys! No shelving space!
Our wallets are in danger. To save them and our finances, we must find the 4 ATMs before our loved ones see how much we've spent. It is our mission.
Toys! Toys, yeah! Toys, toys, toys! So many freaking toys! Toys, 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 toys! Techno wages his battle to find somewhere to display all his toys! No shelving space!
Our wallets are in danger. To save them and our finances, we must find the 4 ATMs before our loved ones see how much we've spent. It is our mission.
Toys! Toys, yeah! Toys, toys, toys! So many freaking toys! Toys, 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 toys! Techno wages his battle to find somewhere to display all his toys! No shelving space!
Our wallets are in danger. To save them and our finances, we must find the 4 ATMs before our loved ones see how much we've spent. It is our mission.
Toys! Toys, yeah! Toys, toys, toys! So many freaking toys! Toys, 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 toys! Techno wages his battle to find somewhere to display all his toys. No shelving space. Good morning, everyone. It's me. It's Techno, and we are live on this Sunday afternoon, this fine Sunday afternoon that actually, looking out the window, is pretty nice out. Anyway, so we had some changes of plans that happened with regards to today's stream. The original plan A was I was going to be open a box of Blocky's Kamen Rider figures there with special guest Sonumi Khan guesting, but unfortunately, they were unable to make it last minute. Unfortunate, like we will have to reschedule for another time. So I've got enough figures that I went, you know what? I can wait on those. I can wait a couple of weeks on those. I've got enough toys that I want to get to. As you can see by the giant number that is present on this graphic. So we are doing different things today, and we are going to be opening a whole bunch of capsule contingencies. Now, what do I mean by capsule contingencies? For anyone who's like unfamiliar with how toy lines work in general, that sort of thing. A capsule toy line is essentially like one of those mini toy lines that they do for store exclusives. For instance, the G2 figures that they did for Transformers a few years ago, that would have been a capsule line. It was a self-enclosed line that was like one or two waves. That was Walmart. Same with the Pirate wave that we got last year as well for Walmart stuff. And of course, I've got some examples from a couple of capsule lines that we had this year for Walmart things here. They've got that whole G1 mini-bot capsule line where they are doing mini-bots in the G1 style packaging. And then they've got the other capsule line, which ended up only being 2 figures. We did get listings for more, but it sounds like all that stuff got canceled and pared back. And that was Sideways and Excellion. I also have another capsule thing, which is a fan channel exclusive more so, which is like a whole 4-pack off to the side. But that's not going to fit in this box very easily right now with everything. Actually, is it even? I'm just checking. Is it even? Oh yeah, it's wide enough. It's wide enough to fit in. But yeah, so we're doing this capsule line as well. This box here, this 4-pack. We're going to go through all these figures here. We are going to open all this stuff, so we're still going to have a good time with unboxing toys. We are still going to open a bunch of stuff. We're going to have fun checking it out. I'm going to check the practicality of using the base from the display stand I have in Toy Streams there, just for the sake of the spinning. I'm going to see how practical that actually works out to be. And with that said, let's put some music on and let's get going. And let's use my Transformers playlist appropriately. And it is not going through my headset. Okay. Right. So I am going to have to fix that there. Let's just stream scuff this. I forgot to check that to see whether or not it was set up for that. So I just need to force kill iTunes, restart iTunes. And then we should be able to get all that going through my headset so I can actually hear this stuff myself as opposed to it running through my PC. So once we do that, we will get started on these. But yeah, I hope everyone is having themselves a good start to their day so far. I hope everyone's day is off to a good start. I hope everyone's having a decent day. I've done a tiny amount of cleaning this morning, but I could probably stand to do more cleaning. But at the very least, I did a bunch of cleaning out of my lightbox area because that area gets messy very, very quickly. Here we go. Okay, and we are started up again. So let's try this again. Playlist is... Oh, okay. Oh, that's what that playlist is. Okay. And I guess we're starting with the touch because I forgot to turn shuffle on. It's turned on now, but yeah. Anyway, we got a whole bunch of stuff to get to here. So we are going to have ourselves a good time. We are going to get through a whole bunch of toys. So sit back, relax, and I am going to ask chat as well. I'm going to ask chat, is there anything that anyone in particular wants me to start with out of... I'm going to do the 4-pack last. Because it's a big box and that's going to take up a lot of space. But is there anything anyone wants to see first out of the things that we've got here? Are there any specific requests for things to do first? He said as he went to himself, oh, right, I should grab these other figures to just have off to the side for comparisons. because I got a lot of figures off to the side for comparisons here. Yeah. If there's anything anyone wants in terms of things to check out, things to compare, let me know. Now is the time. But yeah. Anyway, we are live. We are doing this stuff, and yeah. So I guess we'll just pick something here, and you know what? I think we're just gonna start with. I think we're gonna start with Excellion over here as a starter. Yeah, let's start with Excellion here, and let's see how well this thing works out as a display method. I'm just seeing. Yeah, so Excellion, Age of the Primes Excellion. It is a cool looking figure. It is a repaint of the Hot Shot that they previously did in the Generations toy line. That was, a remake of the original Cybertron Hot Shot figure. We got that really nice box art there. Really nice box art. And yeah, it is a nice looking figure in the box. And yeah, as I said, it is a repaint of this guy. He said as he tried to get it on the thing. Yeah, it's a repaint of this guy here. It is a repaint of this Hot Shot. I'm still figuring out how I'm working this setup. But yeah, so we are going to see how it's going to be pretty much the same as this, but just different paint. This was a decent update of the original Cybertron Hot Shot. Or Excellion as he was known in Japan. So I guess we'll get to this, shall we? Yeah, we'll put this one off to the side, and we will get to unshelling this box, opening this thing up. So with that said, just to give a really quick history lesson, just to start. So Excellion here, this was a, oh, hey Ramses, good morning. Or rather afternoon, sorry, it's afternoon, right? Anyway, to give a quick history lesson on this guy, so Excellion, this is based off of a deco that was in one of the last waves of the original Transformers Cybertron toy line. It used the name Excellion, taken from the Japanese name for the character. Because they renamed pretty much everyone when they brought it over to the US. And in this case, they is going for a very Hot Rod inspired deco on this figure, which makes sense given that Hot Shot as a character, takes a lot of inspiration from Hot Rod. So we got our box there. We got our little baggie of accessories. We got our tiny little baggie of accessories here. And this is probably just going to be his. We got a couple things in here. We have a gun. We have a painted cyber key. Yeah, he has the Speed Planet key. Again, this deco was not actually in the show. It is straight up just from the actual toy line. But it's a really cool deco. I sadly do not have the original Excellion, though, to compare. Comparing with the original key, we can see there's already some upgrades. They've actually painted the key on this one, whereas on the original, it is just clear plastic on the original Generations release. But otherwise, it's the same key, unsurprisingly. I'm just going to put this key back in this one. Put him back off to the side. But yeah, it is a really nice deco. There's actually technically two versions of this deco as well, too, because Japan did their own repaint in, I think it was an exclusive of some kind. They did their own version of this Excellion-style deco as well. I think that the US release, it might have gotten a late wave release in Japan as well. I can't remember now. If it did get a release in Japan, it was definitely under the Cybertron toy line because a bunch of the molds, like the Deluxe Unicron, those got released under Transformers Cybertron just in US packaging with a sticker on it at the time instead of Galaxy Force packaging. So yeah, let's get this one over here, and let's get this one out here. And let's see. Let's take a look at this Hot Shot. So, yeah, here he is out of his box. He looks pretty nice here. I'm just doing a close up on the head sculpt, so you can see what that looks like. Yeah, it's a decent head. Yeah, pretty decent head sculpt overall. Looks, I do not have the original mold anymore, sadly, to do a proper comparison with on this, so I can't really go, okay, this is what the original Hot Shot toy looks like. But yeah, he's got his little gun here that we can put in. He does not have quite the original Cyber Key gimmick. The original gimmick on the original toy had spring-loaded gimmicks where when you put the key in, it would then cause these little wings to pop out. This one does not have that. Yeah. Okay, that folds down over there. I'm just making sure this is all folded up properly. Yeah, this one does not have that gimmick, unfortunately. So that means that all we can really do is we just slide the key in there. It just goes there, and then we just use our imaginations that there's a giant spring there that pops out these two bits there. And that is just going to swing out. Incidentally, these Cyber Keys, I've brought this up before, but these Cyber Keys are in fact smaller than the original Cyber Keys. This is still in scale with the key that they did for Override when they did the Velocitron capsule one. So like all the characters that they've done these keys for, Vector Prime has one as well. Yeah, this Hotshot has one. I'm just trying to think who else. Override has one. I think that's the only Cybertron characters that we've gotten so far that have keys. Unfortunately, the giant Metroplex they did does not come with a key. And yeah. So let's just do a quick turnaround of this guy, shall we? Because we have the technology. So yeah, he is a really nice looking figure. I think probably the biggest negative here, as I mentioned, is the backpack. The backpack still kind of has the same issues as the original in that it kind of just sits there and everything hangs off. Like the original toy had that exact same like aesthetic issue. That is not really anything new. But yeah, like I hope this gives an idea just for doing the quick turnaround there. Well, I narrate these. So let's take a look at some articulation stuff here. Yeah, neck. He's got a little bit of up and down because of the transformation, but it's also a ball joint there too, so he can look every which way. Shoulders swivel around like this. Shoulders are going to get blocked a little bit by the backpack, but the backpack does swing up and down like this. It sits a little bit out from the body, so you do have clearance to get the shoulders up, which is nice. It's always nice when you have that. Backpack, I am noticing, does feel a little bit looser than my regular Hotshot, but okay. What else? We got swivel over here. We have 90-degree elbow bend, and we have a wrist swivel here. Overall, I think this is fairly on par with the original Hotshot toy. The original toy in Cybertron was a very good toy. We also have a little bit of shoulder movement up this way, but that is more for transformation than actual articulation. Yeah, like this backpack, honestly, it's interesting how looking at the backpack here, because the backpack I would honestly say is the backpack is the weakest part on this toy, but it's one of those things where it's like the backpack is the weakest part on the toy, but it is also pretty faithful to how the original backpack kind of just hung there. Unless I've been doing this wrong all along, which is possible, and this actually pegs in here. Wait, it does. Oh my god. I've been doing this wrong all along on this toy. This is what happens when you don't read instructions. So the way this backpack is actually supposed to work here, yeah, the way this backpack is actually supposed to work, because I have never noticed this on this version of the toy, because I don't read instructions, is this actually does tab in over there, and that gets the backpack nice and secure. So, okay, I am going to eat my words in terms of my complaint on this toy. I think I just completely neglected it because the fact that historically this is where the cyber key goes on the original figure. So I didn't even think to check that. But that actually makes this nice and secure. And yeah, and we can still get that full shoulder articulation. So this guy actually went up a little bit in my estimation just now. Oh my god. Yeah, I am a fool. I mean, we all knew that already, but yeah, to reiterate, I am a fool. Anyway, waist articulation. Again, since that backpack sits out like that, we can actually get the waist all the way around. So it's good design in that sense. And the skirt stays nicely out of the way. Like, seriously, I can't believe just how much that one move improves this figure. Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, legs swing up. Legs also swing out. What else? Yeah, and that also locks this head articulation nicely, the up and down. That, seriously, like this back piece here, that does a lot for this toy. Oh my god. I am tossing a marker there because I need to just I need to clip my own like foolishness. All right, so 90-degree bend here in the knees. 90-degree bend in the knees. We have a good, nice wide ankle tilt. The original toy had no ankle tilts. That was not really a thing on the original toy line, so you could kind of just stand them like this, and that was it. And then yeah, and then the toes fold up, but that's more for transformation. So that is articulation on this guy. I'm actually gonna just glance at the instructions here while we are letting him spin because I want to see if there's an actual storage for the cyber key with that up. Because yeah, is there actual robot mode storage for the key with that turned up? Let's just see here. Oh, is it supposed to fit in that slot? Okay. This looked too small for me, so I didn't even try it, but apparently the key does slot in over there. Okay, yeah, it does. So yeah, I have been doing this wrong all this time. The key is not meant to slot down there. Instead, this guy here is meant to come up and just peg in over there, and then we slot the key in back here, which actually makes more sense too, considering how this was where the key slotted in on the original toy. This makes so much more sense. It immediately improves this toy overnight. And I feel like a complete fool for never noticing that before. Like it seriously like does a lot of work in terms of making this toy better. But yeah, so I hope you're all liking the hot shot. How is the Lazy Susan setup working anyway for just the turnaround? I figured I would try using this here just for the sake of seeing how well this would work for showing things off. I think it's working okay so far. Yeah. But, all right, we are here to watch things transform. So let us transform this guy, shall we? And yeah, I figured it would be a nice little touch. Yeah, so we're gonna bring this all out. Yeah, the backpack is gonna swing around like this. I may as well fold these up for now. And head goes into the body. Transformation pretty much follows the original toy fairly closely. So yes, these go up here. What else? Windows go down there. Yeah, the original toy was not very involved. We need to open up the legs so that we can store the feet. How do these store? Let's see. Oh, wait, that goes up like that. So that's actually cool. This is different than the original toy. So we pivot out the ankles all the way to do that and store the feet in. And then we open this up to retract them. The original toy had full-on sliders as opposed to this accordion method. They did not actually start using this accordion method until I think around Combiner Wars for Transformers. Before that, it was all spring-loaded sliders, and honestly, I will say this the accordion method for legs is honestly so much better from a ease of transformation as opposed to having to put pressure down on a thing or put pressure on a thing in order to pull it out. It is just so much nicer as a transformation step. But yeah, now that's all folded up. We bring the backpack in. Oh, I'll put the arms in last. Backpack is going to go back up over here. And this is not to be confused with the character backpack from Galaxy Force, of course. Yeah, so that goes there. Then we put these in here. And that is transformation. Yes, it's a much more durable system. That is transformation. That is the alt mode on Hotshot. And I mean, it looks pretty good. You can see his head right there. You can still see his head through there, although I guess if we wanted to, we could fix that. We could fix that and just like turn it around when we transform him. But I mean, it's still pretty dark. Like it's not obvious. I actually really like the shade of blue that they picked here for the clear plastic. It's a nice dark blue, so it still is a little bit difficult to see things through there. But yeah, like the overall car looks really nice. It's pretty faithful to the original. Pretty faithful to the original figure, which I wish I had here. Again, I think I did have it once upon a time. I used it in a custom, and I think that was the end of it. Cause yeah, I made a what did I make out of it again? Right, I think I made a getaway out of the figure. Back in the day. That was like for a charity auction thing. No, I didn't make a getaway out of the figure. No, they made a getaway repaint of it. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay. What did I make it into? I'm just trying to remember this now. I made it into I did repaint it into something. But I can't remember what now. Like, and it was a white repaint. I did repaint it into something white. I'm just trying to remember what character I was doing. It was for some sort of a charity auction project, I think. So I just can't remember now. But like I think I did I did some head mod. I think I did some resculpting of the head and stuff. I honestly can't remember. I've probably got photos somewhere. But oh yeah. Yeah, the Gen Selects one, right? Yeah, I have that one too. I think Where is that one? Did I put him? I might have put him in my sales bin. I can't remember now. That the Hound repaint one, yeah. But yeah, anyway, so key can still go in here in car mode. We can still get in and flip out the little, the little wings here, which just reinforces why this is why they did this deco, because it very much is a hot rod homage in terms of the general like Dome Zero shape on the car. It's a good mold. And as I pointed out, because I've been missing a transformation step on this guy all this time, I actually like thought it was worse than it was. But the backpack is rock solid once you actually transform the damn toy properly, and that's entirely on me. But yeah, it looks really good in alt mode. It's a really nice alt mode there. I don't have anything else really to compare with it other than the original toy. But sorry, this version of the toy. But yeah, that is one. That is one off the list here. That is one off the list. So with that said, chat, does anyone have any requests for who I open next? As I said, we are doing the 4-pack as well, but we're doing that after we clear these ones off the table. So, do you want Sideways next? Do you want Brawn? Do you want Sea Spray? I'm looking forward to all of them, honestly. They're all good toys. Oh, that sounds fun. Oh yeah, Double Dealer would work really well. Like Double Dealer would work really well as Cybertron Defense Red Alert. Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff Double Dealer would work well as. Like, I mean, you could do Machine War Soundwave out of them really easily. And then if I guess Stalker as well from Euro G1. Yeah, I guess we can do Sideways. I was debating whether or not to let Sideways to alternate or something like that. But yeah, I can do Sideways next. So Sideways, this is gonna be a fun character here. This is gonna be a fun one. So Sideways I'm just gonna turn this off for a sec while I start. So Sideways, he was a antagonist in the original Galaxy Force cartoon, in which he was known as Noise Maze in the original series. He's got a long history, and I do have the original toy. It's one of the Cybertron toys I never sold because it's a really good design. And yeah, let's just, I'm just gonna let this spin just to show off the box here because it is a nice box. They like the Age of the Primes packaging is very nice. They did a good job on it. And we've got that really, really nice box art there on the side. That really nice, head sculpt box art. So now that that's spun around a little bit, let's put the box off to the side and let's take a look at the original Sideways toy. So yeah, so I just dug this guy out of storage. Like I had to like full on just like wipe him down a little bit there too because he was, covered in dust. This is a great figure from, I guess, 2005, 2006. So this toy is probably like almost 20 years old now, which is insane to think about. God, it is insane to consider how old this toy is now. But yeah, it is still a really good toy. It's got a long history of repaints as well too. It got repainted as Rat Bat way back in the day. It also got repainted as Scourge back in the day as well too. The Transformers Collectors Club gave it a new head and made it a Scourge figure. And it's interesting how that kind of began the entire. That was kind of the beginning of the entire like conflation of how Rat Bat and Scourge keep having repaint, we keep getting Scourge toys that have repaints of Rat Bat. And it's kind of funny how this toy was the beginning of that. Yeah. Cybertron was 0506. I probably bought this in I'm just thinking about this here. I probably would have bought this in, would I bought this in 05 or 06? Might have been late 05 because there was a whole bunch of Toys R Us sales going on at that point, and that was around when I started to get back into Transformers. So it's probably, well, no, it could be 06 actually. Yeah, because I'm just trying to remember when I I think it was 06 when I first started my after school job there, like in university. Sideways, though, has a whole gimmick with his cyber key. I do not have the key right here with me now. I need to dig that out. But his whole gimmick was being a faction switcher. So I'm going to just set this off here with a, with a spudger. So he can faction switch from Autobot to Decepticon. And when you press this in, it also deploys these weapons over here. It's a spring-loaded mechanism. And, I guess it left the Autobot symbol down. Okay. There we go. Okay, that popped up now. But yeah, that just goes back to how in the Sideways was very much a character who was not really on either side. He was his own independent operator, and he just worked with whichever side would serve his ends the best. Generally, it ended up being the Decepticons, but like Sideways and Transformers Armada, very much a different character in the sense that like his whole backstory was pretty different. And then of course when Hasbro brought over Galaxy Force, they kind of just kludged the two characters together and made them work as the same character. Even though it doesn't really work, a lot of people will colloquially refer to this guy as Noise Maze because Noise Maze is also a very cool name. So with that said, let's get the new one open. I was really excited when they announced this one here because, again, it's a really good design. And the rumor mill actually has us getting an Armada Sideways at some point to next year, so that'll be good. So let's get this guy open. Let's get Sideways open. Discard this box, and we can already see we have some really nice colors on him. Yeah, we got a lot of accessories in here too. Just look at all the stuff that we got in here. We got, we got the weapon, we got like the blades, we got the little cyber key there. And that is pretty accurate to the original cyber key. The only real difference is they didn't paint the Decepticon faction symbol. So let's get this out. Let's snip everything. Free him from his plastic prison. And then just watch the corpse revolve. We got his little gun there. I'll just go around the back. We got like his wing blades. You got his wing blades right there. Oh yeah, he's really nice. I have been sitting on this guy since like when did I get him? I think beginning of August was when I got him. I've been sitting on this guy since the beginning of August anyway. Like I just waiting to get unboxed. That is how bad I've been at like opening up toys. But yeah. So Sideways. Let's just stand him up and let's compare him to his original counterpart. So yeah, we need to just get the heels out here. I mean, one thing that jumps out actually right off the bat, I will point out, is that he does not have any light piping on him. That visor is entirely paint. There's no light piping over here. This is all paint as well. That does mean that in certain regards, he is probably going to be a little bit sturdier than the original because there's no clear plastic. I don't think the original had any sort of a history of breakages. Like most of the clear plastic is just concentrated in this bit over here. And then I guess the weapon. But, it's still worth pointing out anyway. We can see here that the weapon works a little bit differently. It's got a little fold-out 5mm peg in order to mount it onto his arm. On the original, it is just locked on. You cannot actually remove the weapon. It is just permanent. And I guess this one here, it looks like they're just making it full-on just a removable accessory instead. Which, gives you the freedom to do a little bit more with his hands, which is good. We got the little wings here, which, just to reference here, we can see they are missing some paint. Some of the green paint is not there, but you can see here that all the sculpted detail is still very much there. It's all very, very accurately replicated, all the sculpted detail. So I'm sure if Toy Hacks does a set, they will probably rectify that. And yeah, we can still put the sword in his hand there. We can put the sword in over here too. Or I guess on the other hand, I just have them down like that because it makes for a really cool visual having like just that double bladed thing. But yeah, you can just give him a couple of daggers. Cyber key here. Let's just take a quick look at the cyber key on its own. I'll put him down while I do that. Cyber key over here. We have, yeah, it's just your standard Planet X cyber key. It's a good cyber key design. We have a sculpted Decepticon symbol on here. Which again fits like with the original cyber key. And yeah, you can see looking around as we spin him, he looks really good as you spin him around. Yeah, it's a nice looking toy. It looks really good on a shelf. Let's just see if I can fit both these guys on here and put them next to each other for a minute there. So yeah, you can see just looking at these here, you can see they got the colors pretty much on point. Yeah, like it's still that same sort of vibrant orange. A little bit of the orange on this guy is painted on the new one. You can see differences in like the backpack construction as well. Like this guy here, you can tell this is all one piece. On that part there, the cape is two separate pieces. And you can see a lot of commonalities with how he transforms still. So let's just I'm just getting this set up for just screen cap. Yeah, so sideways, he still has the cyber key gimmick. Again, it is not spring loaded on this version, but oh, it doesn't do the faction swap when you put it in. Okay. All right, I think it still has the faction swap, so let's see how that works. So yeah, anyway, we can pull those out there. We can pull these out here, and does it have the smaller one still? Yes, it does. So yeah, we can do the full shebang with the weapon, with the new weapon as well. We can get all these guys out like this. It just works a little bit differently, and it's no longer clear plastic, but we can still get that entire configuration. And I think it still has the faction swap gimmick. It's just not triggered by the key. You can see there's a little switch under here. If we pull that down, there, it is a Decepticon faction symbol. Pop that up and make it Autobot again. That is how they are working this on this version. Or you can put it halfway, I guess. But yeah, so I miss the spring-loaded gimmicks, I won't lie. I like the toyetic nature of the original and how it's honestly a really good action gimmick, just doing the faction swap. Oh, and also I will note too, I appreciate that they didn't paint this part of the cyber key, because that would all wear off. But yeah, I do miss that aspect of this, but I do think that they did a really good job of implementing this, and also not locking you in to needing it to be a Decepticon faction symbol when you have the weapon deployed. That is a nice little touch. I will probably be mostly leaving it on the Decepticon side because most of the time he spent just working for Starscream in the show. Like he spent a lot of time working for Starscream on Starscream's third faction. But yeah, this is what I mean here when I talk about the cape. You can see that this is two separate pieces versus on the original there, and the back is a little bit hollower. There's no plate covering it. And that probably owes to transformation differences. So, yeah, I'm just setting him down here again. I forgot to grab a photo of Excellion there in his in his robot mode, but hey, it's Sunday. Anyway, yeah, there is alternate storage for these weapons as well too. You can store it down here. This is actually a little bit different from how the original toy worked. I will show that in a sec because it's a notable difference actually. And that will probably come into play with just talking about the major differences between these toys. Because yeah, just to put this guy down over here and keep going with him. To bring the original toy out, so the way the original toy worked here with the weapon storage is, weapon storage on the original toy here was these little pegs here. I forget which side goes where. I think it's the other one that goes here. You would store these down there, same way as on the sides. But you can see there is an entire armature along the side here, so that you did not have to remove the wings to transform him. There was no parts forming on this guy, so this piece here was able to shift into position. These wings here were also able to shift into position. On the new one, you can clearly see all those parts are 5mm pegs instead, so it isn't going to be quite as clean as the original from a transformation perspective, which is a little bit of a negative, I won't lie. That being said, I mean, this does look a little cleaner, and I actually do really like what that does with the weapon here, in that making it removable just gives you more options. Because I mean, heck, you could even like not put it on his side there. You could even just turn it into like a handheld weapon too, if you really wanted to. The benefits of 5mm pegs. Like, it's not as accurate, obviously, but especially in a show where like all the CG models were pretty much toy CAD, just with added greeble. But yeah, let's look at articulation then. I'm gonna pull this off while I do that. So articulation, we have a nice ball jointed head. It does have a little bit of up and down to it. Turns around. What else? Shoulders. Shoulders spin around. There's no up and down to the shoulders. I don't think the original had a little bit of up and down, but that's more transformation than an actual joint. But we do have a up and down over here still. We have a swivel around there. We got a 90-degree elbow joint. And we got wrist swivels. So far, for the most part, you can see these arms are pretty similar to the original, and the only real difference is you don't have that slight up and down on the shoulders. But again, that was transformation related more so. Yeah, this all spins around here. And actually, looking at it, you can see another difference between these two toys. You can already see that that they are going to transform very differently in the waist. because this one here has the waist split apart, and this whole system rearranges with a split waist, whereas this one here, yeah, you can't split that waist. And because of that, that means this guy actually has 1 point of articulation. The original doesn't. He has a waist. The original toy could not have a waist because of how it transformed. And that's actually kind of cool. That is nice that we have. I don't mind having a little bit of give and take. Like, this original toy definitely has a little bit more beef to it. It definitely is still a fantastic toy, and I would recommend people pick it up. But yeah, I do like that I can say, okay, this is one thing that the new toy definitely does do better. So yeah, we don't have ball joints on this, which is nice because as you can see, I've got like stuff stuffed into these ball joints to add friction because on my original, like the ball joints for the hips are like loose as hell. This one just has universal joints, which is good. Universal joints tend to have much less friction wear than ball joints do. And we also have a swivel over here. What else? Knees. Knees should still bend. Knees. Yeah, knees have a very good bend because of transformation. Very good bend in the knees. They also lock in position when you get them all the way up. There's actually a couple of soft locks too. You got the soft lock when it's straight. You've got another soft lock when it's just bent a little bit. So that's kind of cool. You can have them just like with a slightly bent idle motion there if you want. Or is it just that leg that does? Yeah, no, it's only this leg that does. That has that soft lock there. But there is a little bit of a soft lock there going from here to here. And then you have to add a little bit more force to get the full knee out of it. Ankle tilts. He does have them. The original toy does not. Toes. He has them. The original toy does. So yeah, that is ultimately that's pretty good showcase of. Oh, interesting. He can also like tilt this up because of the transformation. That's cool. So we can get a tilt in there. That is cool. So yeah, overall, I gotta say it is nice. As I mentioned, it is nice being able to look at these toys and go, oh hey, there are actual trade-offs. And it's not just a case of, oh, they made a worse version of what was like one of the Zenith toy lines of Transformers from the 2000s. Like anything from Cybertron is generally going to be like a good toy. Like there's very few stinkers in the line, and the few stinkers are generally full on just their reuses of toys from Armada and stuff like that. Like there are very few actual genuine stinkers in the Cybertron toy line. I'm struggling to think of any right now. But let's transform this guy. Let's muck with this sucker. So we're going to pop all these parts off because they are going to very clearly all move around for the transformation because none of them have any of the bits that you need in order to shift them into place. So I'm not really even going to try there. We already know that we're going to have to parts form those. We do have one commonality in place though, in that this is going to open up and the head is going to go inside. But huh, does this work differently? Yeah, these guys go up here. Oh, I am just trying to figure out how this goes differently here. Because I can already see a whole bunch of different steps. Yeah, like this goes up here. These legs do not split here. And I'm really interested to see how this goes because just, getting the same results but just with a different transformation is always kind of neat. So yes, we get these legs that can fold up. I'm just trying to remember how this all goes. Right, I think these legs came around like this on the original. What else? This head is going to have to come down. I'm just trying to figure out how this goes out, but this head very clearly does have to come down. But we also have, oh, interesting. Is this a difference? I'm just trying to figure out, oh, interesting. This is different. Okay. All this stuff comes up like that. Cool. And then we can push the head out from here. This is interesting so far. Yeah, head comes out and out like that. And this all just swings around, goes in, and then this whole thing. Oh, there we go. That goes in like that. And then you fold this entire thing up over the head. I think I've got this turned the right way. I'm just checking that. Is it? Yeah, I think it's supposed to face up, looking at the sculpting. So that faces up like this, and then this all goes in here, and then his little horns become the little horns that stick out here, just like the original. Oh, Thundercracker. Yeah, Thundercracker is one of the weaker ones, I think. I know what you mean, because he's got that big gun arm. That is a little bit of a weaker step. Yeah, so now that this is all up, now we should be able to fold these arms down, and they are definitely tighter than on the original. Yeah, so this all comes in. These arms are going to come down. I can already see that these are going to peg together, so we're going to have to swing them around. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, we got tab and slot there. Those are going to peg together. Those are going to come down in here, like so. We're going to just get everything up like that. So it's going to be like this here. And you can see here that we're going to use this giant tab here is going to go into this slot over there. And that is how we are going to get this piece into position. We are just going to bring those arms down, lock it all together. Are there any other? Oh, there's these tabs over here. Okay, so there's like 3 connection points for this. There's that connection point, there's these 2. So I've got some stuff to work with. So once it's tabbed in, it should be nice and solid, like so. Yeah, so there's the top of sideways there. Then what else? We're going to fold this back up, lock all that stuff in, and then, yeah, then we fold this down. These feet are going to come in and lock in over here. Let's see. Heel needs to go up. Yeah, so these feet lock in over here. Lock into that little slot there. Again, that's like the original, how this transforms. Yeah, this all comes down. This all folds in. And these guys are going to tab in. Yeah, there's a tab right there. Slot right in the backpack over here. That's going to just tab in over here. I'm going to pop this off just to make sure it's a little bit easier. So this all goes in like that. These tab into the sides. So this is the base thing before we've added any of the wings and stuff. It's all pretty much the same shape as the original. The only real difference is that we don't have things on various swivels in order to move them into place. So we have to manually tab these guys in. This one's not quite going in up here though. I'm just trying to make sure that I get this in all the way. Okay, that's in now. That guy's in now, nice and solid. And then these wings, as I said, on the original toy, the pieces that lock in over here, these all move around and stuff. Oh, no, that's not how they did it. Oh, I see. Yeah, on the original, because these pegged into the side of the legs, and these pieces would then flip up and over and end up over here. They did not do that on this version, and instead it is just straight up, you're expected to just take these off and plug them into these new parts over here, where these just peg in, like so. So we just peg these in. There's the 2 connection points, and this popped off again. I think the only real negative I'm seeing with this is that you just need to make sure that these arms are lined up just right. Because if they're not lined up just right, then these tabs don't quite align. Let's see. Yeah. A lot of this stuff is, once you get pegged together, it should be pretty solid. Like the fact that there's multiple connection points means that everything should just sit. But yeah, let's try getting this guy back in again. There we go. So that is sideways in his all mode. Yeah, it is. It's pretty much the same jet as before. Not really any major aesthetic differences to this guy, honestly. As I said, the big difference is how these actual kibble bits come off the figure and pop back on instead of what the original did. And that is an entirely subjective thing. And you know what? If you're not a fan of that, if you don't like the way it transforms, that is entirely fair. I don't think either way is a bad way. I honestly don't mind if, say, the pieces that pop off are pieces that become weapons. I don't really mind if those don't have like full-on storage, especially considering that the way this guy does these wings is kind of like a little bit over the top. Because again, look at the way this entire wing system works in the original. The entire way the wing system works is you have to fold all this stuff around. All this stuff comes up and around like that, which is incredibly elaborate, honestly. It's an incredibly elaborate way to do this. And then you just have to peg these in over here. Yeah, it's a very over-the-top way to do this. And then these little guys here peg into these holes over here too. So it's very similar in how it transforms. It's just this one is kind of like doing this one is doing it like in a much more elaborate method where they were actively trying to avoid having to take anything off the figure for a transformation. And that is very much a mileage. Your mileage will vary thing in terms of is this good or is this not. I honestly am a fan of yeah, and then like this guy here, you can see here that it is like off center on the back here because these arms need to come together. So this needs to sit off center and then it just swivels back like this. Again, there's not really a bad way to do this. But I do really like the fact that we can actually pull off all that kibble just for the sake of robot mode. It does give them a little bit more freedom. It is a little bit more freedom, and I don't mind that aspect of this. So I'm just going to let them spin around a little bit more. And yeah, we are going to start on the next ones here in just a sec. I'm just going to, I forgot to screen cap some stuff here with Excellion. So I'm going to bring him back over here. I'm going to bring Excellion back over there. I'm going to put his weapon in because I forgot to store his weapon in this mode. And again, 5mm peg, we can just put the weapon in over there. Or on the sides, I suppose. But yeah, I'm just making sure I get some quick shots of this. Yeah, that is the first two here. That is the first two figures. Oh, Ratbat and oh, you mean like oh, the Blaster, right? Right, those were both Universe releases. Yeah, I had the Blaster back in the day. I remember that Blaster. That was a nice one. All right, so I'm just going to post a couple of quick screen caps, and then we're going to go on to the next ones. Chat, while I'm doing that, does anyone have any preference in terms of who we get next? Anyone have any preferences in terms of who is next in the queue? Because yeah, we're going to do either Braun next, or we are going to do what's his face next? Braun or Sea Spray. I'm tempted to do Braun next because Sea Spray is the brand new mold. But yeah, let's see. I'm just typing up a quick thing. I'm just doing a quick Blue Sky post just for progress here. There we go. Anyway, there we go. Let's do Braun next, and let's take this down. Let's decrement this, and yep. Let's put these two off to the side. Let's pull OG Sideways out of this. And oh, this came off again already. Yeah, I think I'm seeing like the biggest negative on this toy is honestly that these arms are not sticking together as well as they should. And because of that, these pegs are not working nearly as well as they should. Like I can get the pegging fine in the back there, but then the front, yeah, you can see looking underneath, this isn't quite aligning. And that's the biggest issue. Maybe there's something I'm not. Let's just take a look at this quickly. Do these? Oh, I think I see the issue here. Oh, I see the issue. Okay, I see my problem here. So the problem is that these little guys here have these little divots sticking out there, and these are bumping into each other. So if I bring the hand, if I switch the wrists around like that, now this is going to work. These are going to be a bit more flush, like that. Now all this comes together, so now this should actually stay on properly. And, no, this still isn't going in all the way. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, we got these little tabs here, but these are actually kind of useless. They're kind of useless little tabs because you can see here that doesn't really actually go in. Not really all that well, no. Maybe there's another step to this that I'm missing, but yeah, this guy does not seem to actually lock on very well. Unless again, I need to move these wrists around a little bit more. Maybe I need to do it like this. Maybe if I do the wrists this way, I can get these further up. It's just kind of a little bit weird that it's not really... That's a little bit better, I guess. I think it's a little bit better now if I put the wrists around like that, but it's still like a case of... Oh, no, that's actually way more secure. Okay, that must be how you do the wrists. It's just a case of you need to have the wrists in the right way because otherwise this guy doesn't actually stick together properly. But yeah, okay. Sideways. Sideways is done now. So next up, we are going to be doing Brawn. We are going to be doing the Capsule Series Brawn figure. So this is all very much a reproduction of the original G1 packaging and how this is done. It's just, like 2 to 3 times the size because it is it's a deluxe. And you can also see the other big difference too is the tech specs. The tech specs are very much simplified from the original toy. All we have here for tech specs, instead of a whole bio, which the original toy had, we have function, demolitions, might over microchips. To Brawn, Earth is essentially a hostile environment, and he loves it. Strong, rugged, agile. Sorry for those not as tough as himself. But yeah, really the big difference between this and other ones is the fact that they have all the international text on these figures. And I get why they do that. I do. But it does kind of take away a little bit from the retro aspect of these figures, even if it is entirely practical. And honestly, probably legally necessary if they're selling in certain countries. So yeah, I've got the other release of Brawn here. This is the previous release of Brawn that we got in Studio Series. It's the same mold. The big difference is that they changed the head, and then there's a whole bunch of paint differences, obviously. So just to showcase this guy here, we can see here that, it's got a completely different head sculpt. And really, that's going to be the main difference as we take a look at this toy. So, with that said, I'm just going to switch the thing off for a sec. Put this Brawn over here. And we are going to crack this guy open. Let's get this packaging open. This is all going in the garbage anyway, so whatever. I'm not too worried about damaging it. It is still really nice box art, though, I will say. The box art on these guys is still very nice, and I am a little bit sad that the guy who did a lot of the G1 Transformers box art, like the mini-bot art and stuff, kind of went really far into I don't know if it's him specifically or if it's his agent, but he very much has spent a lot of the last 5 years going down first the NFT rabbit hole and then down the Gen AI art rabbit hole, and it's really sad to see, considering the guy made some really nice art, and now he has kind of gone down that entire mess of a thing. Mark Watts being the artist, really, it's a genuine shame. Genuine shame. I have one of the table frames that he crowdfunded years ago. That is giant photo frame that can become a coffee table and just mount on the wall as well. I have one of those up on my wall. It is a gorgeous frame. It is a really nice product, but unfortunate really. So Brawn, let's put Brawn on here. First off, right off the bat, what we can see with Brawn looking at this is we can see he has an entirely new head sculpt. This head sculpt is much more in line with the original Generation 1 toy. You can really tell it here that we have the animation head here versus the toy head. And the toy head looks really good on him. It's interesting just seeing how these differences are. I really like the toy head here. Colors are very similar. You can see this one is much more of a olive than a pure green in terms of the bronze. Really, that's the big difference. Just the orange is pretty much all the same. He's got a black gun as well. The actual paint layout is pretty similar. The main difference here, we have a silver-backed faction symbol like the original. Turning them around, you can see here that we have the Autobot faction symbol, again, silver-backed over a black bit there. Again, we are much more homogeneous than the original toys. And I think this was where the rub sign went on the original. I can't remember. I think this was where the rub sign went. So yeah, let's put this brawn off over here. Let's put this guy on the spinner. Just show him off for a sec here once we get him going. I'm just gonna do a quick screen cap here again. Yeah, so I mean, so it's a nice brawn. It is a nice brawn. I do have the other Walmart exclusive mini bots that we've been getting so far as well, just for the sake of comparing. And yeah, none of them had rub sign. None of these guys had rub signs on them, unfortunately. But yeah, you can see though, Brawn, it is still a very nice toy. It's a very clean toy in terms of how he transforms in his robot mode. And just putting Brawn here next to, I'm just gonna turn this off for a sec. Let's put Brawn here next to like, I guess Bumblebee and Gears. You can see like Bumblebee, they really didn't try when they did the Bumblebee there, like because he's got the same G1 head. But like, I think that is more a case of the fact that a lot of the times Hasbro will put alternate heads in with their figures. And in the case of Gears and Brawn, I'm pretty sure that they sculpted these knowing that they were going to do toy versions in mind at some point. So they full on gave them the original faces, the original head sculpts as well, just baked into the mold. With Bumblebee, Bumblebee originally he was a he was originally a cliff jumper mold that then got retooled into a VW. So his head pre-tool would have been cliff jumper already. So it makes a little bit of sense why Bumblebee would not actually have the toy head. It's unfortunate though, and I hope someone does one. I think Vinx has been talking about doing like the toy head for Bumblebee. So yeah, let's pull these guys down. Let's take a look at Brawn here more closely. So articulation-wise, Brawn has a swivel head. It's tight to start swiveling it, but there's no real up or down ball joint on the head. Just function of how it's got this whole design here. It doesn't really support an up and down, just with the design. We have ball jointed shoulders there, out like that. Let's see what else. We got swivel here, bicep swivel, a little more than 90 degrees here. No wrists. Wrists just go in and out because of transformation. What else? Waist joint. He does have a full waist joint here. Kibble does get a little bit in the way, but not a lot. Legs. Swivel there at the thighs. We got about just under 90 degrees bend there. Toe goes up and down. And then he should have ankle. Yeah, he does have ankle tilts as well. So yeah, so you can get some really good posing out of Brawn. I believe the wheel does pop off as well, the rear wheel. And obviously, like the gun would pop out too. But yeah, you can pose up Brawn pretty well. He like all of the mini bots they have been doing in these lines have been really nice, I gotta say. They have all been very nice mini bots. So with that said, let's get him into his alt mode, shall we? So I'm just gonna turn that on in the background. So anyway, Brawn's alt mode. It's a very simple alt mode, but then they're mini bots, they're simple. So the big thing is we need to extend the legs all the way out like this. That's the big step. We also need to take his gun out. And we can just put his gun in here in the spare tire. Just give it somewhere to store. All this stuff comes out. This guy here comes down. You can already see how we've got like half of this thing done already. This piece comes up over here. And this is one of the neat things here. Because yeah, on the original toy, like the way Brawn had like the whole little box there where his head was. On this one, the way they handle that is they just have the entire cab here, like the whole front grille here just swings around 180 degrees and comes up like this. Like on the original toy, this is how it was, if my memory serves. I believe this is how the original toy did it more or less. It still had this sitting, I think, a bit further back, but like none of this stuff spun. But that's how they do it on this one. And because of that, yeah, we can get this out here. And yeah, we've got a lot of the toy done now. Yeah, these arms are going to swivel around down here. And then they're going to swivel up and in and finish filling in those windows. Nice black windows too. I really like the black windows on this. Yeah. Let's see. These come in like that. And you can see here, we have a tab, slot. So, tab and slot. So these are going to peg together like that. Like this. Yeah. So this all comes together up here like that. And then yeah, I guess, wait, do I need to swivel? Yes, I do need to swivel the waist around. Okay. Because yeah, this all comes around like this here. All right, legs. Legs swing around. Yeah, this guy comes down here. This guy comes up here. And yeah, yes, the heel and the toe come down. This entire bit swivels around. That all stores inside. That all clips together up front. These just come together like that. And then we just finish bringing down the back here. And again, the mini bots have been some of the best ones they've done at the Studio Series Deluxes. They have, I I don't think there's been a mini bot that I've disliked at this point because they've just all been very solid transformations. And Braun really continues that trend. Like he's part of that trend. Like he was one of the earlier ones that we got. And then yeah, you bring this around like that, just peg these bits in here, and that is Braun in his ultimate mode. It's really clean. It's really clean. It looks really nice. I think the big thing I'm just looking at here is we don't have headlamps painted there. We don't have the headlamps on Braun painted, as you can see. But yeah, he looks really nice. He looks very nice there. What else though? Yeah, you can see here, like, just if I unfold these here, you can see. Oh no, they don't have those painted on this one. Okay, they don't have those lamps painted. They just have this little bit painted. Interesting. Okay, so I take that back a little bit because but yeah, Braun is he's just a nice little guy. Like he works really well. Like it's a nice simple toy. Um, he's got a good all mode. He's got the painted rims. The black windows look fantastic on him as well. And are painted all the way around. Like really, he's a good toy. Like there's not really a lot more to say about Braun. So anyway, I'll just decrement the count there. And we are going to go next into a Sea Spray. And Sea Spray, I've been looking forward to. I've been really looking forward to this guy. So Sea Spray here. This is an entirely new mold. This is the first release of this mold. We will probably get another one down the line that has like the cartoon eyes and stuff like that on it. But as of now, this is what we have for Sea Spray. This is one of the ones that we've been kind of known it was coming for a while bit because, well, we've gotten a lot of hints because one of the previous marketing guys on Transformers there, I'm trying to remember his last name, but Ben, he is a big G1 Sea Spray fan, and he would keep, like in a lot of the streams, he would keep bugging like the design team about how they don't have a Sea Spray toy yet. So, I mean, I think that was like a non-subtle hint that we were probably getting Sea Spray, especially since we were getting all the mini bots. And we got a brand new Sea Spray. Just for context too, I do have the previous Sea Spray that we got in the Transformers toy line. The previous release of Sea Spray was this little guy here from Titan's Return. He is just a little, or was he Power of the Primes? He might have been Power of the Primes actually. I'm trying to remember now. But yeah, he is just a little guy here. Tiny little scout, like works really well. Like it's a good Sea Spray toy. Really good Sea Spray toy, this tiny little one. I'll just show it off a little bit here. It's got storage for Titan Masters in the back over here, so you can take like a Titan Master like this over here. You can stuff a Titan Master inside, and then close it all up around him. So that's a nice little touch. Again, it was the toy line of the time. But yeah, he has a very good transformation, this Sea Spray. This is the Takara version, by the way. This is the Takara release, not the Hasbro release. This is the one that was in Transformers Legends. But yeah, like this OG Titans Return Sea Spray, which we got like a decade ago now, because time is evil. So yeah, this all comes around like this. And then we just bring all this stuff down like that there. And that is his transformation. It's a nice, simple transformation here. And yeah, like this little one, like he even had the little painted eyes in there too. Like Takara kind of went like the next level for the eyes. But yes, yeah, so we have all that, and then he's got his little pizza box weapon there, which just plugs in over there. Yep, Sea Spray is his pizza box weapon. So yeah, just to show off this version of Sea Spray here. This is the last Sea Spray that we got. Again, this was, I guess, not quite a decade ago, but it's close to a decade ago. It's an older toy now, but it still checks out. It's still fine. It's just a case of that, well, in terms of his actual scale, he hasn't aged very well because, well, look at how big Bumblebee is next to him. Like, you can really see that as far as the mini bots go, Sea Spray is one of the larger mini bots, but look at him next to Bumblebee. Like, yeah, we really need the new Sea Spray toy. I think at this point, there's not many mini bots left either. I think it's just Swerve, because we're getting Wind Charger. So I think it's just Swerve, Outback, and Power Glide, I guess. I think are the main ones that we don't have yet. So yeah, let's get this guy open. Let's shuck this packaging. Hmm. Again, I don't give a crap about the actual box. We are going to be tossing this. Oh yes, Hunch from the Decepticon Sea Spray. Oh right, we don't have tailgate. Well, I guess we don't have tailgate either, but tailgate is a redo of I'm just trying to remember. He's Wind Charger, right? So tailgate is probably a matter of when at this point. And I guess Outback is a matter of when because we have a Brawn. So, but yeah, I do. I forget if I sold my Hunt for the Decepticon Sea Spray. I forgot to pull. I still have the Octopunch, but that was also a very good mold. Yes. That mold, that Hunt for the Decepticons one is, if you can get that Sea Spray, it is a really, really nice toy. Like, I would highly recommend it. It was an incredibly well done figure. And yeah, we need to cut this here. Cut that there, get him out. And then we got his little gun here. So this Sea Spray does not have a pizza box for a weapon. That is, yeah, that is immediately a step down that he does not have a pizza box as a weapon but oh, the feel on this guy, he feels really good. Like, look how bright the colors are too. Look how bright and vibrant these colors are. Like this blues, these yellows. Like, he just looks really good here. Oh, like yeah, and I'm just putting him down here. Like, oh my god, he looks really good. He looks really good. Oh ho ho. Like, just I am really happy with this guy and how he turned out. Like, just looking at this turnaround, oh my god, this is a really nice toy. You can see here just how much stuff, all like how clean he looks in general. Like, oh, he is not like, yeah, I mean, this guy's a little bit more portly. Like, if we look at the comparison there, yeah, like it is very nice. Like, let's just put these side by side for a sec just to compare these. You can see here that it's like, you can see a lot of little things that are just nice concrete upgrades between these two. Like, just for instance, like, look at how big these toes are in this one versus like how much the boots stick out. Or even the backpack, like, this guy has a much thicker backpack because of the Titan Master gimmick that he has to accommodate, whereas this guy has none of that gimmickry, so he's able to compact up really well. Like the blues, I really like this more powder blue here that we have on this version of Sea Spray. Like, it's just much more vibrant. He looks really, really good. I guess if you wanted to give him the, because that guy still has that chest there, so I guess you could still do that. You could still give him the more toyish chest if you put this on here. If we want to make a more proper comparison, because you can see here that that actually makes it a little bit more of the same chest there. If we do that. But yeah, you can definitely see that we really needed this upgrade. It's kind of nuts. I do miss the pizza box gun, even though it's not accurate. The pizza box gun was fun. But yeah, it's a nice sea spray. So let's look at articulation on this guy now, shall we? So articulation, we have a ball jointed head here. Not a lot. It's actually not a lot of up and down on this ball joint. Little bit of side to side, I guess. Not a huge amount. Like you can see here, I'm getting a little bit of a head tilt out of him. But I really like just the G1 Minibot style on this guy and how well that works for the face, with him just having just this stark visor here. I'm really curious how they're going to handle the animation one, like if they're going to use the same head or if they're going to just like do a new head that has like just sculpted eyes, because this guy just has like a visor there and it looks really nice. Yeah, so that's the head sculpt. Shoulders all the way around. They also come up about 90 degrees or so. Like, really nice looking. We have a bicep swivel there. Little weird in terms of how it sits, I suppose, in terms of just how this sticks out a little bit, but okay. That's probably because of transformation more so. But yeah, we got a little more than 90-degree elbow bend, which is always nice. Do we have wrist swivels? We do not have wrist swivels. No wrist swivels in this guy. We have a spinny waist. And I really like too, the waist works definitely better than on this guy here. This guy, yeah, oh right, this guy didn't have a spinny waist, right? So this guy doesn't have waist articulation. This guy does. So we already got a lot more life out of him here. And it also has like the style, I go on all the time about how I really like when they do this style of hip here, where the actual plate moves with the leg. So yeah, so he has some good kicking range of motion there. We can get the legs out like that. We can spin the legs around like so. And we can get about a 90-degree bend here. And wow, we have a lot of elastics on his legs too. Let's clear that out there. Yeah, so, and then of course, yeah, foot can come up like that. I think that's more for transformation because this does peg in over there. It does peg in to stay static. But then we also have an ankle tilt as well too. But that ankle tilt is on the peg itself. It's not a huge range of motion for an ankle tilt, but it's enough that you can get him in some good A stances. Like, yeah, that's a really nice A stance there. Like, yeah, Sea Spray just looks really good. He's a nice chunky boy. Yeah, I really can't dislike this guy. He looks fantastic, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. So let's keep transforming him, shall we? Yeah. So transformation. How does this all go? I'm actually curious too if this thing pops off as well. You know, because pizza box. I'm really curious to see how this whole chest bit goes. But yeah, so we can see here that these guys are going to pop out here. We got a guy out here that's going to pop out as well, and this is going to. Oh, I wonder where this goes. All right, so that pops out as well too. You can see there's a lot of stuff folded up in these legs. Like actually, yeah, I really like this here. Like look at how much the pontoons fold up here on the legs just to. Oh, and then these come out as well too. Oh my God. Oh wow, 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 wow! Look at all this. Look at all this. This is great. Hmm. We got all this stuff, and then these guys come out too. Wow, wow. So I guess if you want something that was a bit more toy accurate, if you want something more toy accurate, you could leave all these pontoons just out like this, and then you would have something like this one guy here. Like, yeah, I'm really impressed at how much work they did on this here. Hmm. Yeah, that looks really good. And then yeah, and then this guy comes out here. I don't know where this is going to end up, but we'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. And then yeah, and the legs, these are all going to fold in. Huh. How do these joints work? I'm just interested. Yeah, there's a lot going on this Sea Spray. I'm very impressed so far. Because yeah, I think that these are going to. How does this all go? Because we got this. Yeah, I can see here. There's a whole. Oh, that's the ankle tilt swivel there. Okay, that's why. But yeah, let's see. Because this all comes up and down. Yes, this all comes down like this, and I think it just goes like that. Yeah, I think this just goes like that, and then we just fold that in there. Then we fold this one in here, and then this, yeah, and then this is gap filler. This is gap filler here, so that way we can have the legs still like not be completely flush. So it's going to look like this here. Okay, that actually looks really good here. Like the way they did that on the original one here is, how did they do that again? Yeah, because the original one here, we had those pontoons there, and this just all folded up like so. So we're getting this, you can see here that we're getting the same effect there. It's just all these bits here fold up. Yeah, it's really nice, this new one. It's very nice. So we got all this stuff over here. And then what else? Arms. Arms are going to come down like that. We can already see that these spin around 180. These spin around 180, and I'm pretty sure that these. Okay, so we have some up and down on this, and I'm pretty sure that that's because these have to fold out somewhere. Because these look like solid blocks. I don't think this opens up. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't look like the forearms open up, so that's interesting that we have this up and down on the hands. That must be a transformation bit. And hey, that's what makes these things fun, just the journey of discovery. Because I have done no prep in terms of figuring out how this guy works in advance. But yeah, okay, so all this stuff comes out like this. All this stuff comes out, all this stuff moves around, so the head is actually going to properly store. It's not just flip up panel to cover the head. And this is all just going to peg in over here. I think I'm doing something wrong with the head though. Let's just see. Yeah, because this all comes down there. This all comes in here. Maybe the head flips around 180? Must. Because otherwise we just get a big visible head over there. I'm just trying to see if it folds up anymore. Oh wait, no, all this stuff pivots around, okay. Because yeah, I know this has to go over here. I'm just trying to look at this and see. Maybe we do have to bring this head around. It doesn't feel like this head does 180 very easily, though. It can, but there's not really quite the... Oh, that's why I need to spin this first. Do the 180 before you bring that up. And then we can do this. I don't know if this will even matter in the end, but we'll find out. So that all comes around like that. And then this guy comes around like this, and that's going to cover up the face. And you can see here, we got a couple of slots. This is just going to tab in over there. This all comes up there. This is all just going to tab in on the bottom. Like that. Like that there. And then, yeah, this all, yeah, you can see here, this is all going to compress and fold up here. We got a little tab there. We got a little slot there. But we also have a whole bunch of stuff going on in this chest, it looks like. So that we need to move out of the way first. Yeah, he is surprisingly involved, this sea spray. Okay, so these guys come down here. Okay, these details come down there. And oh, this spins around. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's cool. This whole thing spins around like that, and then that gives us the windows in the right spot. That's really cool. And then these guys here, let's see. Yeah, this all folds up here. That locks in. Then we can bring these legs up. Yeah, legs are just going to come up. Why is this one not going up? Yeah, and then these guys, yeah, these guys just, I guess these guys folded up originally a little bit more for the robot mode. Now these go a little bit more flush for alt mode. And then, yeah, and then we bring all this together. This all comes together like this. This is all flush. And then this comes up like that. And you can see that these slot in right over there. Like, oh my God, this is a really good sea spray. And then, yeah, and then I guess this is where we would use that slight bend of the wrists. The wrists bend down over here. And I think these hands just store in here. Unless the arm's open. But, I don't think they do. I think it's just a case of you just bring this up like that. Yeah, and then and then you just fold the hands down underneath. Okay, yeah. That's just, I guess the wrist is just more to add some play for the transformation. So that you can shift those in and out of the way. But yeah, that is, let's see. That is all the steps. That is Sea Spray. Once we get all this up here. There, that is Sea Spray in his vehicle mode. And you know what? This looks really, really good. Like this looks crazy good. Like, I mean, like, oh my God, they did a really good job of making everything flush. The gun storage, I mean, he's got this little bit here that doesn't really work for this mode. I mean, I guess the head kind of just sits there as well, but I mean, like, everything does cover up the face, so it's not really that big a deal. Like, the face is probably fully covered. Weapon storage, there might be room underneath. There's enough space. There's enough space underneath to store the gun. I just don't know if that's an official storage method. I'm gonna have to look that up, because we can put the gun on the side. No, the gun doesn't really work there. It doesn't really have room there. I'm just gonna put this here. Let's take a look at his instructions, because I'm fairly convinced that he must have some weapon storage. Oh, okay. Oh, really? He doesn't have underside weapon storage. That is a little bit disappointing. He does have weapon storage, but it's not underside. And that is a bit weird because there is absolutely room to store them underneath. There's absolutely room to store the weapon underneath here, as you can see. So it feels like a little bit of an oversight that they weren't able to actually work anything in here for like an official mode for weapon storage. Like, no, there's no slots or anything like that for that. What he does, like, even though, yeah, you could very much get that in there, and technically. What he does have for weapon storage is he has this little 3mm peg, which goes into that 3mm slot there. And you just plug the weapon in like that, and you just store the gun. So, I mean, that still works. It does not get in the way of the propellers. The propellers still spin, as they should. But yeah, let's put sea spray on the turntable, and let's take a look here. Yeah, he looks really good. It is a very nice sea spray, I gotta say. It is an incredibly nice sea spray, and again, I'm just gonna transform this other one because it is such a quick transformation on this version of the toy here. I may as well. but it's really night and day just how different these are. Yep. Oh, does this one go on? No, the pizza box only goes one way. Okay. All right. But yeah, you can see there's a lot of similar design elements there, but it is a lot of it really is budget. A lot of this comes down to budget and the fact that this guy had like a small scout class budget and didn't have budget to do a lot of stuff. He's probably already like doing like the limits of what that price point budget could do. And then you have this bigger guy who, like, the thing that the scouts have all been doing very well is the deluxe mini-bots have been doing very well is the deluxe mini-bots, all of them have been doing a very good job of justifying why they are a deluxe price point. Because just look at how much they put into these things. Like, look at how much they put into those legs. Like the other guy's legs, you saw how quick that was for me to transform it. Like, there was like nothing put into that leg transformation. It's just much simpler. Like, about the only real thing this guy has over the other one is he's got an actual back to the vehicle. But like, if we look at these here next to each other, it is just like, oh, it is a night and day comparison. It is a very much a night and day comparison on these. So I'm just gonna make a quick social post, and then we're gonna start on the next ones. But yeah, you can see here that it's like, yeah, what a difference. What a difference here. Yeah. Let's see. Grab some stuff here for sea spray. All right, let's see. Making a quick post here. Let's see. Just typing this out. At least you got something interesting to look at because it's just a turntable. But yeah, yeah, that is these first four of the things that we're opening up here. So let's knock the list down. We're down to 50 things to open. That's right. We're down to 50 whole toys to open, and that does not include model kits and stuff. That is a very sad thing, is it not? But hey, they're cool toys. They are cool toys, and we are doing that 4-pack next. So, I'm going to have to move some stuff around, I guess. Of course, at end of stream, I'm going to put everything back in bot mode, and for anyone who came in late, so you're going to be able to see these guys all over again. Yeah, for now, I'm just going to switch this off while I rearrange stuff. Let's pull this guy out. Let's pull this brawn out. Let's pull gears and B out for now. I'll bring them back out at the end probably. Because yeah, this next 4-pack, I have been trying to theme everything out when I do unboxings. I've been trying to do like specific themes, and the 4-pack doesn't really fit into a theme per se, because it's eclectic stuff from like 4 different lines essentially. Like it's a mix of G1. I guess actually no, it's mostly G1 and then like a little bit of non-G1. But so the 4-pack, which just barely fits in here. I'm just gonna put this over here. We're not gonna be able to spin this, obviously. We are not going to be able to spin this, but hey, it is the Age of the Primes 4-pack here. We have Ultra Magnus, toy version of Ultra Magnus without the cabin stuff. We have Autobot Bumper. We have Horrible, and his sing-along blog. And we have Transformers Animated Nemesis Prime. Yeah, these are all cool looking figures here. I'm going to get into all of these. let's just take a look at this box a little bit first, which does not have room to spin in my thing, but I can show things off manually. We got this nice box art up top here, just showcasing all 4 of these toys. Like, it's just very good. Very good box art. Spinning this around. Spinning this around here, you can see we have the teasers of all 4 figures back here and everything that they come with. There's some, there is, some of these guys have retooling, some of these guys don't have retooling. It is very much a mix of what has retooling and what doesn't. Horrible is very clearly where the budget went on this set, and I will get into that once I get it open. With that said, while I prep this up, chat, do you guys have any requests in terms of which one I look at first when I get this thing open? And also I need to adjust my position here, but yeah, anyway, as I said, chat, any requests for who in this 4-pack I open first? I am entirely open to requests and stuff here, if there's particular ones. Also, just to talk about this a little bit, so it is a capsule line 4-pack. As I mentioned before at the outset, the capsule lines are, that is the term that's used by Hasbro to refer to, they're all internal terms, which we know because they mention them in streams and stuff these days. But a capsule line is a smaller toy line that is like a self-contained line that they sell to a particular store as an exclusive. Like, for instance, the Walmart Minibot capsule line, the Velocitron capsule line, the Target, the Studio Series repaints that Target got as Target exclusives would also be a capsule line. And this would kind of be a capsule toy, but it's also not quite. Because there's another, this was a Target exclusive in the US, but internationally speaking, where there are not Targets, this was instead made available as a fan channel exclusive. We do have, historically in Canada, Toys R Us gets all the Target exclusives, but Toys R Us has kind of been going downhill the last few years to the point where the toy collectors don't really shop at Toys R Us anymore unless we can help it. And a lot of the Target exclusives just end up as fan channel exclusives up here in Canada. So any smaller retailers like your Ages 3 and Ups, your Toy Snowmans, your TF Toys, like our local Transformers guy, they all have the ability to get these sets as well. This one I picked up from EB Games. This one I got as an EB Games release. And yeah. So let's get it open, shall we? I'm going to open this off camera because it is going to be a pain to open up. It's a long box. I'm honestly leaning towards doing Horrible near the end purely because Horrible has like the most changes. I'm probably going to do him like as one of the last ones because there's a lot to talk about with Horrible. But yeah, opening this whole thing up here. Yeah, there's the inside contents of the box. We should be able to pick these guys off one at a time now. I've got a big block of instructions over here. We got this big giant like folding map of instructions for all the figures. And you know what? Let's see. Let's start out over here with Ultra Magnus. Let's start with Ultra Magnus over here. He is a repaint. He's the one straight up repaint in the box, I guess, in that he is just straight up a repaint of the G1 Optimus Prime that we got last. Was it last? Yeah, it was late last year that we got that G1 Prime. Yeah, so it is just very much homogeneing the original G1 Ultra Magnus figure, which was a Optimus Prime repaint in white that then went into the whole trailer. So I mean, yeah, it is pretty nice. I'm realizing too, I should have pulled out my Siege or Earth or Kingdom Ultra Magnus, come to think, because those ones still had like the white cab inner guy in order to muck with. Those are both in my sales bin right now, actually. Because yeah, we got the Commander. That is the self-contained one that is really nice. But yes, this Ultra Magnus though, he looks really cool. He's got a little gun up here as well too, and he's got a, let's get everything out. We got this gun. We got Magnus's gun. We got Magnus's axe, which was not an accessory on the G1 toy, but there's been a bunch of Optimus Prime releases that have axes with them at this point. So so it's not that unprecedented anymore to give him an Energon axe. It's just, it wasn't on the original release, but it's been on enough reissues that it kind of counts. Oh, and axe just went flying back here. Yeah, so we got this here. Axe is just going to go on over top on the hand. And of course we got the gun over here. This is very much the toy gun. I think this is, it looks like they painted the gun white. Interesting. Yeah, it's got a whole layer of paint over it. So like the entire gun is painted white. Yeah, interesting. That must have to do with like the original paint layouts on it. I don't know. I'm just looking at the Optimus over here and just trying to figure that out. Because this is the Optimus toy that he is a repaint of. So Magnus over there. Magnus looks pretty cool here. Magnus looks pretty good. I'm just gonna take a quick screen cap and we're gonna turn on the spinner. Well, I grab this little bag because I don't know if there's any more Magnus accessories in here. So, little baggie of accessories while we are letting Magnus spin and look around. And I really like how clean this Ultra Magnus is too. Like, he's got that whole clean background. Like, he doesn't have any gaps in there. And okay, I think it's mostly horrible accessories in here. Let's see. I will get to I will talk about some of these accessories a bit later. But oh yeah, no, there's accessories for everyone else in here too. Magnus still does come with the second gun as well. He comes with that second gun that is the animation-based gun as opposed to the toy-based gun. And then we got accessories for everyone else. Let's see. Nemesis Prime. I think that's horrible. Horrible part. Horrible part. Weird to say horrible part. We got Bumper's gun there. And then we got the other bit that Ultra Magnus comes with that is relevant and that I will show off in just a sec here. We have the Matrix. That's right. He has a Matrix cavity. So we got this little Matrix here. It is just a silver Matrix here with a blue crystal. And we can just pop this in over here. Lock it in. Close everything up. And again, this is very similar to how like the Diaclone driver stored in the original toy. So yeah, so he can do all that there too. He has the extra gun. We can store the extra gun on the back over here, like so. Yeah, Magnus looks really good here. I really like the head sculpt and how they painted it up. Like he's got those piercing red eyes. He's got like the really strong, like bright blue visor, and like it's a simple paint job, but that's how the original toy was painted, but it works well. I'm just gonna transform Optimus over here too, just for the sake of putting the two next to each other before I transform him. So let's let him rotate a little bit while I transform Optimus off the camera. Just because I don't really have the hand room to do that. But yeah, this toy, I would very much sum up this toy as being a case of we have Missing Link at home. Because yeah, they've done that. Like Takara's been doing all the super articulated G1 stuff with Missing Link. So this whole general philosophy of let's take the exact design that they used for G1, but then give it like modern toy articulation is something that is not new, but this is like a way to experience that is going to be at a fraction of the cost. So that is definitely a plus. Always nice to not have to spend as much. So Magnus here, let me stop knocking my this arm on this camera here that I probably can't not avoid knocking. And let's put him over here with Optimus, just to compare the two. You can see here that you can see here that him and Optimus look pretty good together. Yeah, they look good together there. Just doing the quick turnaround again. Yeah, they're good toys. Good toys. One thing I think I will note though is Magnus does actually have functional light piping. I'm just realizing that now. You can see here that they did not paint over the light piping on Magnus. On Optimus, they did. They painted over the entire light piping piece in yellow. And on Magnus, though, they did not. It's still a clear tint. But yeah, you can see here that there is some very clear light piping going on Magnus's eyes, which is cool. I'm a little curious on what effect they used to do that. But hey, it works well. It works really well. Just gonna turn this off for a sec here. Let's just put him next to Optimus again. Just showcase these two. Like I really like this aesthetic. This is a fun toy. This is genuinely a fun toy. This whole Magnus. So anyway, let's do a quick transformation of him. Yeah, I'm just realizing too, looking at him, just how many different colors we have in terms of the clear plastic. Because we have this blue axe, we have these clear windows, and then we have this red in the head. That's actually like three different shots. They must be painting this with translucent plastic, with translucent paint somewhere. But the end result is very, very nice. It's a very nice result. So anyway, let's keep going. Also, these are on 5mm ports, so you can pop off the smokestacks if you so wish. The one thing that's really cool on this mold is that the original toy, the original Optimus Prime toy, has fists that just pop in and store. That is something that Missing Link does not have. Missing Link, you do have the option to be able to use the old style fists, but on the Missing Link toys, I only have the Sunstreaker, so I guess I can't speak to the Optimus. But on the Sunstreaker, who is actually just over here, I'll show this here. Like on Missing Link Sunstreaker, who is really nice, and the same general philosophy, but just a heck of a lot more expensive. Like on Missing Link Sunstreaker, like the original fists plugged in, and like they were full-on missile launchers on the original Missing Link Sunstreaker, but on the original G1. But on this one here, they full-on built-in fist storage there, but still allowed the option to be able to plug in accessories and fists like on the original toy, which was really cool. Yeah, it was really cool for them to do that. I'm just putting these guys next to each other, but yep, Ultra Magnus and yeah. But anyway, though, Magnus though, the way his hands work, it's actually very well done. And this is, I didn't even show off articulation, right? So let's get to that first. Articulation. So we have a ball jointed head. Nice ball jointed head. Good range of motion there. Shoulders go up to about there. Swivel around there. Bicep swivel, 90 degrees. No wrist articulation, and that is entirely because of the transformation, as I was about to show you. He does have a full waist articulation. You are going to probably have... Oh, no, you don't really have to move the bumper up to do it. But the bumper does flip up. Yeah, what else? Universal joints here. You will want to flip the bumper up if you want to do the full kick, but it's great that you have that option to get all this articulation. Again, we have a swivel there below the hips, 90 degrees here in the legs, and it's the right 90 degrees. If anyone knows the original toy, like the... Yeah, oh no, the original toy, the legs bend the right way. But yeah, anyway, we got that. We got an ankle tilt. We got a toe. Very good articulation. But yeah, let's get into the transformation as I was starting. So anyway, so the reason the wrists do not have articulation here is because of how these transform. Because where you would put a wrist swivel, we instead have this pin joint, which allows us to swing this entire assembly around, bring it in, and then we get that. Then we get just the front of the truck there. So that's a fairly ingenious way to do it, and honestly, it's worth the sacrifice. And I do love as well how it just changes the entire shape. Like, again, full credit for the way they designed this because of just how, yeah, it just makes it a shorter, it also makes it a shorter forearm in the same breath. So it is a very well designed engineering touch. Let's see. Head just folds up in there. Legs. If you've ever messed with the G1 Optimus Prime, and a lot of us have, because they've reissued it so many times, it is very similar. Yeah, feet just fold up like this. Legs just peg together like so. And then, yeah, then we just bring this up here, bring the wheels down, bring the arms around. That all just comes in like this. Yeah, these lock in over here with tabs and slots. And then you just lock all this stuff down here. Just make any final touch adjustments. Like so. And that is it. That is Ultra Magnus in his alternate mode. As soon as I get that in there, right. So, Ultra Magnus in his alternate mode. It is a nice little truck. It is a nice little truck indeed. I mean, like, yeah, it's just your G1 Ultra Magnus. Like, there's but a very G1 Ultra Magnus. We do have storage for the accessories, of course. You can put the axe back on the trailer hitch over there. Trailer hitch is just a 5mm port, so this should, I think, work with the Commander class trailer. Let's just grab that. Oh yeah, this should work with Commander class trailer. Like if I pick this up here. Oh no, this one won't work. It's too small of a port. It might work with the Earthrise trailer. Because I think that's just a straight up 5mm, but I don't have that handy right now. I don't have that handy right at this moment, so I can't really test that. But yeah, we can store this over here like that, and we can just like store that gun there, store this gun over here. So we have full weapon storage on him. And yeah, he just looks really nice. It's a nice Ultra Magnus toy. Yeah, again, like it works really well. It works very well. All right, so that's Magnus out of the way. And next up, I think we're gonna keep going down the row here, and we're gonna do Bumper next. So Bumper has some history behind him as a character. So Bumper dates back to Generation 1 when they were doing so many mini-bots and so many redecos of mini-bots. And one of the redecos that we got of mini-bots there was there was a the famous Bumble Jumper toy, which was they took a Cliff Jumper toy and they painted it in yellow, and there weren't really any differences between the two. Or is Bumper separate? I'm just trying to remember my trivia. I think that was the origins of Bumper initially, that he was the Bumble Jumper thing. And then in, I think it was Dreamwave that they decided to make him into his own character in the Dreamwave comics. And they started calling him Bumper in the comics, as a homage to just that Bumble Jumper name by just, shortening that up and making it like a canon name. But yeah, so this is using the Studio Series 86 Bumblebee mold, which is a good mold. It has a new head. Yeah, you can see here it's yellow like Bumblebee was. I think it's the same yellow actually. If I were to pull down Bumblebee, it's a very similar yellow anyway. It's not quite the same yellow. It's actually a slightly better match than Bumblebee's is paint wise. But yeah, you can see here pretty much the same mold. No real differences in any of the sculpting except for the head, which is just a very visibly different head. I am just going to bring this around like that there so you can see just a very different head visibly. Let's just take a quick shot of this. But yeah, yeah, I mean so anyways, yeah, Bumper was a character who they used in, I'm trying to remember, was it War Within they used Bumper, or was it Dreamwave Volume 2? I'm trying to remember now. But Bumper did have some prominent appearances in some of the G1 fiction there, and from what I remember, I think he died. Again, I'm rusty on some of this knowledge, so apologies if I'm getting things wrong. It's very possible I'm getting things wrong, and one trip to TF Wiki will prove me wrong. In which case, yeah, by all means, please prove me wrong. But I'm pretty sure I remember how this stuff goes. But anyway, it's a nice little mold, this 86 Bumblebee mold. I'm gonna just put Bumper up over here. I'm just gonna put him on the pedestal there, let him rotate a little bit. I'm just gonna make a quick post while I'm letting him rotate actually. Let's see. Let's see. And let's see. There we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna double check that. I'm just gonna double check Bumper just to make sure I get my factoids right. Because now I want to know. Now I want to know what the story is with Bumper. So if I just check the quick TF Wiki page quickly here on Bumper, let's see. Yeah, Bumper was. Uh, hmm. Uh, yeah, Bumper was just like that. Yeah, he was the penny racer cliff jumper there that was done up in yellow. And it was referred. Yeah, I was right there. That he was referred to as Bumble Jumper by years. And then yeah, and Dreamwave okay, it was when Dreamwave did their ongoing comic, okay, that they called him that they started calling him Bumper. Okay. So he showed up in volume 3 of the Dreamwave comics and he got a whole bunch of okay, no, I was wrong about like the death thing there. Um but yeah, like he actually got like some POV character stuff there in some of the early Dreamwave Volume 3 arcs. So that was a fun little nod to Transformers history. The fact that they gave this toy only generic a new head and an actual character. And you can kind of see hints of like the Cliffjumper head in him to there. Like you could see hints of the horns and hints of like Cliffjumper's crest and stuff, but they just designed it all in a very different way and made him much more unique, which is really cool. So anyway, articulation. We have this really nice ball jointed head here. We have ball joints here. Ball joints here. We have about 90 degrees bend in the elbow. We have bicep swivel there. We have full wrist swivels. Waist goes all the way around. Okay, up, out, swivel. 90 degrees there at the knee. And then, yeah, we have toes can go up and down. Toes can ankle tilt. So he has all the articulation you would expect, and again continues the trend of really nice mini bots. So let's transform Bumper next. Let's transform him, and let's watch his gun go round and round and round while I transform him. So one thing this guy has is a big step up from the other Bumblebee that I showed, from that mold there. One thing that's a nice step up is this one here was a bit of a parts former, because the Cliff Jumper was and how it transformed. Like you have to pop off this whole rear area here and pop it back on when you transform him. This one, everything is self-contained. It is self-contained, and he also has like a proper dinky Bumblebee gun. So we're gonna start by just folding his head up like this. Head just goes inside, and then yeah, and then we bring that whole bit up, and these guys come out here. Yeah, all this assembly comes up like that. You can see that these are all going to fold around like this. These are going to lock in at the 90-degree angle. And you can already see here that these are going to tab together like so. Let's see. This whole bit here, this comes back down. This folds up. All this stuff folds up like this, and that's the back of the vehicle. So one thing that Bumper doesn't do accurately, I suppose, is that, because he's a retool of Bumblebee, that means that his alt mode is going to be like a Penny Racer super deformed VW Bug instead of a Penny Racer super deformed like Porsche. So technically he does have the wrong alt mode, but he has the right colors, he has the right head. We're probably going to it's a little bit of a shame that we got this because they will probably eventually do Cliff Jumper from this mold, and they will probably give Cliff Jumper like new feet at the very least there to yeah, Cliff Jumper, I imagine, would probably at the very least get like a new legs just to make him more accurate. So it's a little bit of a shame that we got Bumper now and not in a couple of years. But hey, it's still good we're getting Bumper. And I'm spotting the thing I did wrong because in order of operations, you need to fold these bits up here. These bits here that make up like the actual soles of the feet, you need to actually fold them up inside before you transform all this. So this all comes together like so. This all folds up, and that, I'm just making sure everything's locked in. And that is Bumper's transformation, more or less. I'm just trying to see this. Something seems to not quite be folding up here. I'm just trying to make sure I can spot that. Yeah. Like stuff doesn't seem like it's going quite as flush as it should over here. He uses the same trick Bumblebee does, where he has the black windows, which are entirely black windows, even though that's not cartoon accurate. They're black windows there, so that all the unpaintable plastic parts can blend properly. It's not a bad decision, honestly, and it works because because for the mini-bot they would have all been black windows as well, so that does work. But yeah, he all folds up like this. That is the Vehicle mode for bumper. Gun. I believe the gun does have gun stores just on the back over here. Just with that little tab into that little slot. And then, yeah, then we just put him down here. So, yeah, it's just a little tiny, like, Penny Racer Bumblebee. Again, it's not the right alt mode, and I do sort of wish that they had waited a couple of years, purely because of the fact that by then we would probably have a cliff jumper you could turn into a proper, accurate bumper with, like, the right feet. But, hey, oh well. Oh well. He still looks good. He still looks very good, bumper. So, all right, I can pull B back out now. I should pull Optimus back out too, actually. And we are going to move on. I'm going to do Horrible for last because Horrible has a lot of stuff to talk about. But we're going to move on next to Nemesis Prime, and I actually have a lot to talk about on this guy too. Because Nemesis Prime, this is a very slight retool of the Transformers Animated Optimus that we got last year. Animated Optimus was a very good mold. Very good mold. Like, the animated Bumblebee was okay. Prowl was okay as well. But Optimus feels like he got the assignment pretty much perfectly in terms of like capturing the spirit of Derek Wyatt's design. Like, he very much has that Transformers animated aesthetic to him, even though it's, you know, it is a more G1 style toy. Like, it feels like it does what they want, what you know, the mission statement of Legacy is. And yeah, so here's the I'm just going to talk about this guy a little bit before I get started. So this Nemesis Prime, actually, this is not the first time we've had a Transformers animated Nemesis Prime. First time that we had a Transformers animated Nemesis Prime, it was technically not even a Nemesis Prime, I suppose. Because the original toy release for a Nemesis Prime for a Transformers animated was actually I want to say it was a Tokyo Toy Show exclusive in Japan. It was not a US release. It was a repaint. It was technically a Black Convoy, not a Nemesis Prime. And the reason that distinction matters is because Black Convoy, as just a Black Optimus Prime, was not a Decepticon. He had an Autobot faction symbol, like this is the original right here, just to show this off. This is the original version of the figure there. I've just got like all the backpack kibble on there just to showcase. This guy goes for a lot now. I think they only made like a few hundred of these. Like, I'm trying to remember. Like, it wasn't a huge, I don't think it was a massive production number, but I actually picked this guy. I lucked out on getting this guy back in the day, actually. Like, so I was leaving Calgary Expo for the day, like, because I was like, well, I got everything I needed. I'm done. And then I just happened to walk by a table of somebody who was clearing out all his Transformers animated stuff, which included a lot of the Takara figures as well, including some of the rarer pieces like this guy. And that was very much oh, god damn it, I guess I'm going to be spending more money. I just spent a ton of money on other stuff, but I guess I kind of have to buy these too. But it's a good toy, this original one. And you can see here that this one captures the spirit really well. It is using more of a green than it's using more of a green on this than a teal. And I think that this is actually consistent with how they did how Derek Wyatt drew Nemesis Prime in the, or rather how he had Nemesis Prime colored in the Allspark Almanac, because there was a Nemesis Prime recolor in the Almanac. But like the color, and you know, obviously the big difference here is there's the Decepticon faction symbol. But again, this is straight out of the Almanac thing. I really like too the face. This one here on this release of Nemesis Prime, if I trigger the faceplate, because it still has the faceplate gimmick, you can see here that he just has like a dead gray face. It's a bit of a boring deco. It's a bit of a more boring deco there for the face, and I'm just trying to get the faceplate back up. It's tight on this one. That's what happens when you have a toy gimmick that you don't use for like a decade. Yeah, because this original one just had the original like animated faceplate gimmick. It's actually proven difficult to get back up now. Yeah. Why did they do this? Why did they do this? Yeah, this is not snapping back into place. I'll have to check this out afterwards. But anyway, this new Nemesis Prime, though, he has an alternate head sculpt from the previous Transformers animated Optimus. This one here has a full-on faceplate installed. Yeah, I'm just gonna tweak this while I do this. But yeah, the original this one has a new sculpt that has a full-on faceplate, whereas the original did not have the faceplate and instead had the toy style head. Yeah, yeah, wow, this is just maybe if I transform this guy and transform the head, this will help me get it out. But yeah, that's funny. I can't actually get this faceplate back up over the face now. It's just a switch gimmick, and I can't. And yeah, it's not a. Oh, there we go. I got it now. Okay. But yeah, anyway though, yeah. So with the faceplate up, yeah. Let me just put this guy back in in this area. There we go. But yeah, so he has the different face. Did I grab Animated Optimus off my shelf? I was gonna do a comparison. Did I grab him? Let me just check. Yeah, of course I didn't grab him. I thought I grabbed him, but then I didn't get any further than thinking that I grabbed him, I guess. Where is he? Animated Optimus is among a sea of Transformers on my floor. I'm just trying to keep an eye out for Bumblebee as well, because I know Bumblebee and Prowl are near where I put. Oh, there he is. He's back there. Right, because I've got all the Wingblade stuff on him. Right, because this Optimus has the full upgrade kit that I showed off earlier there. We have the full upgrade kit on this one to do the Wingblade Optimus. So it actually has the parts on there to give him to just add the faceplate on. Let me pop these off, just to showcase what the difference in head sculpt is. Let me pop these third-party parts off. There we go. But yeah, so this here, oh, you can't even see it because of the height. Okay. But anyway, yeah, this here is the original head sculpt of this Animated Optimus. It's going for the animation model accuracy there. And yeah, I guess I can't really put these next to each other because this guy's just so much taller with the Wingblade upgrades. I would need like readjust all my camera setup. But yeah, so he has the new face. That is a significant difference on him. And I'm gonna and he also comes with his axe still as well. Again, this is all just reuses the same parts on Animated Optimus. I think it's pretty similar paint layout as well too to Animated Optimus. Like Motormaster painted these bits on the axe, but Optimus did not. But yeah, like it is like the original 2 where the axe does extend, so he can dual wield the axe as a result. Like, yeah, we can slide this down on his arm, like on his hand, like so. Yeah, bring that out of the way. We can slide this down, and we can have him just bring his arms around and dual wield. Yep, we'll just bring the wrists, swivel the wrists a little bit. I'm just making sure I get this in. Yeah, we can take this all down like this. We can dual wield the axe like so, which is pretty cool, I suppose. Yep. It is pretty neat. I'm just making a quick post for the bumper photos, and then we're going to get back to looking at Nemesis Prime and transforming Nemesis Prime. But like this, I really, really like the teal face on this version, though. It is very nice. All right, let's see. All right, just making a quick other post here. And Nemesis Prime, again, it's a nice Nemesis Prime. Nice Nemesis Prime, so let's look at his articulation. Let's look at the articulation on this guy as soon as we get the axe back out. Because it does have a couple of like thicker points there that will let the wrists lock in. Like this whole bit here is thinner. Then we have these 2 chunks here which are thicker, so he can actually hold it. But articulation on this mold. This mold is very good on articulation. So we have, ball jointed head. Very good range of motion on this head. Very good range. We have up and down. We have side to side. Yeah, you name it. What else? Shoulders. Shoulders go up to there. Shoulders go all the way around here. We have a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows, which is always nice. Wrist swivel, as you already saw. What else? Waist. Waist goes all the way around. Universal joints here in the hips. We have a swivel there. We have about a little more than 90 degrees in the knees, which is really nice. And then we got some ankle tilts over here, and we got some toes that can move up and down. Some of these steps are all here to facilitate the actual transformation, but yeah, again, you can get them in some really good poses here. I mean, just look how good this looks like posed out. It's a really nice toy when you pose them. So with that said, we are going to transform them now. And there are some cool steps in this figure. Like, I really like the leg transformation. It's a nice, inventive leg transformation. I'm just remember the exact steps and order of operations. Right. Because, yeah, you need to bend these legs out like this. Because there's a little locking tab in place for the legs. And, yeah, the entire assembly for the legs is going to come out. We'll just remember how this all goes. Oh, it's like this. Okay, yeah. So this entire assembly here for the legs, this entire assembly here, this whole bit comes out like this and folds around. And that's how you get like the wheels there. And then this whole bit is going to come up over here and lock in. Like so. These feet are going to lock in up there. And then you can see here, we're going to need to swivel these around because these are all going to swing around like this as well. So we got a lot going on these legs already. Going back to the upper body here. Back to the upper body, there's some really cool stuff that they did in order to get the silhouette right in robot mode here. Like we have all these bits here that these straighten out here. And all this is going to fold up. I'm just trying to remember the exact steps. I remember like all this stuff being very cool. Right, because these are the front bumper here. Let's see. Yeah, we can, right. Hands are going to fold inside the forearms. So get these open, close this back up. Get this open, close it back up. There we go, like that. Yeah, and then this all just, you can see here, we have a tab and a slot. This all just comes together like so. Yeah. And then these guys, this all is going to, normally this stuff is all down here. These guys are all going to fold up like this. We bring this entire assembly down like this. There. These all swap around. Like so. Lock in. This comes down. This locks in. This is the whole, this is going to be like the whole front of the cab right here. And yeah, this whole waist swings around like this, comes up over here. You can see here that we got tabs that are going to lock in over there. Then this guy all is going to come up over top, just fit over there. Front of the cab just slots in like this. MC comes up. And then, yes, this locks in over here. And then we can finish the leg transformation, bring these legs around. Slide these together to lock that. And just, these should all tab in as well. Nice and securely. And that is, hold up. This isn't quite done up top. I don't think it's quite lined up right. There we go. That's lined up right. There. That we have the alternate mode for animated Optimus Prime, or rather Nemesis Prime in this case. So one thing I really like with this figure here, one thing I really like that they did on this version of the toy, which I talked about when Optimus came out, is the way they did the wheels. Because on the original animation model, there are no wheels up here. There are 4 wheels back here on the actual legs, and the entire point was that like this all was elevated off the ground, this whole bumper. And then you have the entire trailer just like the rest of the fire truck trailer that he was combined with its own set of wheels that would then counterbalance these wheels here. On this version of the toy here, they kind of, on the original version of the toy, the way they did it is they actually moved the wheels to be a little bit further up. So the wheels sat up here, which was not quite accurate. What they did in this version of the toy, though, is they just made some faux wheels down here. They just brought the whole bumper down here and hid these front wheels as much as possible. So you end up with something that evokes the original look of the toy. It evokes the original look of the original toy, but it still does it a little bit differently. And hey, I don't mind that at all. It works well. Yeah, we can take the weapon here. We can fold this back up. And this is just going to sit in. I guess we can just peg this in over here. Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's a specific. I can't remember if there's a specific way to peg it, but we got like, peg there, pegs there. So I guess you could just, I guess probably easiest way to do is just use this peg over here and just have it sitting over there. Yeah, it looks pretty good though. It's a really nice, it is a very nice Nemesis Prime. It's kind of funny too. I'm just realizing that we have like 2 different Optimus variants in this 4-pack, just with different molds. Kind of funny, really, thinking about it. But yeah, Nemesis Prime, he looks really nice. It's really sharp colors. Really sharp colors. Visually, he is probably the standout of the box, just from pure visuals, because just how well this green, and this red and this black all bounce off each other. It looks really good. It looks very, very good. All right, so I'm going to pull him out of the box now, and then we are going to take a look at the last member of this 4-pack. We are going to take a look at, the sing-along blogman himself, Horrible. And Horrible is probably the oldest mold in here because he is a retool. He is a very extensive retool of one of the Titans Return Headmasters. Specifically, he is a very heavy retool of Skullcruncher. Before I started this, I was trying to refresh my memory on which one they did in the Horrible. And that actually took me a sec because I was like, hold up. Which one is he? Because the chest, I had to go off the legs because a lot of him is all new sculpting. The budget for this set very clearly went into doing Horrible, and he is one of the last of the Headmaster Juniors that we still need. Yep. Let's just put him down there, corpse style. Get his gun out, because there's going to be a bunch of alt mode things we need to assemble that were packaged separately. So I'm just going to put Horrible there, like he's a corpse or something like that, which is appropriate if you've read the IDW comics. That I've got him in a corpse pose. But yeah, Horrible. I didn't even pull down his. I should have pulled down some of his other counterparts because Horrible's counterparts were right. Horrible actually finishes off a set. Horrible finishes off the set of the Headmaster Juniors. We just pulled them down. These were all 1988 Headmasters. This whole trio. They were the characters that showed up in in Japan. They were the characters that showed up in Transformers Master Force. They were the 3 Decepticons that showed up in there. And I'm gonna show all these guys off later on because I have the other 2 in their alternate modes. I am just double checking because the other 2 were Fangry and Squeeze Play. I am just double checking this here while he rotates. While he rotates, I'm going to just look some stuff up here. Because I'm just checking my Master Force cast here. Yes. Okay, yeah. So we have Bullhorn, Cancer, and Wilder. That's what I thought. Okay. So in Japan, he was known as Bullhorn instead of Horrible. So not quite as clever of a name. Anyway, I'm making my other post while I say this. But yeah, in IDW, he didn't do really a lot in Marvel. There wasn't really a lot to speak of in terms of things that he did in the Marvel comics. And conversely, though, in Master Force, he was one of the Headmaster Juniors. I can't speak too much to what he did as one of the Headmaster Juniors in Master Force. But I will say, though, that in IDW, he actually was very significant in the 1.0 continuity. And funnily enough, he was significant because of the fact he died. Because ironically, the way Horrible died was they blew up his head. Like he full on had like a Suicide Squad style like inhibitor chip. Like they full on did it Suicide Squad style in that at that point in the comics, all the Decepticons had chips in their heads, so that if they stepped out of line, they would blow them up. And Bumblebee blew up Horrible's head just to get it, to send a message. It ended up being more. It was very much a oh god, Bumblebee went pretty far. It was like an example of all the moral compromises Bumblebee was making in that. Let's see. Anyway, yeah, there was some big stuff though with regards to how it worked out for Horrible's death because his death in the actual comics was a fully preventable one that the Decepticons could have stopped because they had already hacked the chips, but they decided not to, just to weaken Bumblebee's position. Oh, and I forgot about this on Nemesis Prime. Right. I forgot about this because I put it off to the side. So Nemesis Prime does still have the sirens here present. He still has the sirens present. You just have to plug it on as an extra piece. So there, that completes the look. I completely forgot about the sirens. Oh my god. Okay, so getting back to the Corpse Man that I keep talking about. Getting back to Bullhorn. Yeah, Headmaster Junior and Master Force, Dead Guy in and there's going to be a little bit of assembly to this guy too, because they went and they put his horns on the sprue. It's a softer plastic that they did the horns out of, I think. But yeah, they are on the sprue here, so we are going to have to do a little bit of clipping. One thing I am going to note here before I clip these, and this is an important note, is that this sprue, as you can tell here, this is painted pink. Now, this is going to matter because it means that no matter where we cut, we are going to have like some little, we are going to have some flash there, no matter where we cut on this thing because of the fact that, because the fact that it is blue plastic. This is in fact bright blue plastic and not actually pink plastic. So keep that in mind. I'm just going to try and get these things off. Yeah, you can see here that this is like full on blue plastic here. It's the same as opposed to pink. You can see like the paint just sticking through and stuff. So you are going to want to try and get as close as possible, and you are probably not going to get all the paint off. That is just reality. Anyway, yeah, like even that, I got really, really close, and we got like a little bit sticky, and you can see here that we still got a little bit of paint there. That's unavoidable. This part is going to be even rougher up here. Like I'm full on using like good nippers here too. But that is just very important note, I feel. I'm just trying to figure out what the best way to clip this is. But yeah, you are going to it is going to leave a mark, and there is just no way around that. Like yeah, I got really close there, but yeah, we still have a little bit of a mark there, you can see. Kind of wish that they hadn't done it this way, but c'est la vie, I suppose. C'est la freaking vie. So yeah, this one here, we got that really close. And this one here, we are also going to come up over there. Yeah. So yeah, so we got a couple of little marks there because of the fact that they just painted this. Unavoidable. And then we just take these and we slap them on the head over here. Thankfully, you can see here that where they actually put all the sprues is not going to be very visible. It's all on the underside down there, and it's on the back over here, so it's not really going to be that visible when we actually put this guy together. But it still sucks. So, anyway, yeah, got this here. We got this whole panel back here that the head is going to slot on. And then that's just going to fold down. Or is it? Or does this just... Oh, no, this just sits here. That's right. Because Horrible in G1 there, he just had his head sitting up there because he had the bullhorns back there. I don't know if this is the right orientation, though. And it's probably not the orientation you want to use, purely because... I'm going to have to check this now. I think it's supposed to go this way. But again, the problem with this, as you can see, is that we're going to have unavoidably those little like unpainted sprue marks just sticking up there. That's just unavoidable, unfortunately. But I believe this is how the head goes. I'm just gonna check the back of the box, but I'm pretty sure that's how. I'm just looking at this here. Do they do it this way, or is it the other way that that's supposed to go? Yeah, no, this is right. This is right. Okay, so that is that is unfortunately unavoidable. The fact that you are going to be able to see these no matter what. But we got really close on them. All right, he's got his little gun here as well. Just a little rifle like there. And I'm just going to pull all these elastics out of him. So yeah, I mean, he looks really good though. Like just as we get him here, you can see here that horrible just, he, aside from those little sprue marks, like he looks really striking here. Like the pink, I get why they did the pink paint. There's not enough pink to justify doing it, but it is really sharp. It is really sharp. It is a nice contrast. He does have some kind of hollowish back legs there, but I mean, I think that's kind of unavoidable the way he transforms, unfortunately. The aesthetic though on this guy looks really good. It's still nuts that they did all of the Headmaster Juniors as retools of Titan's Return molds in terms of how well they all worked. Like they all worked really well, I gotta say. And they all three of them all have like the street spank, have the what you call it, the speed, strength, and intelligence markers on them too. The only thing is that with Squeeze Play there, they didn't actually write the labels on there, but they did on the other two, so that actually kind of makes them a little bit inconsistent. Yeah, that's Hasbro for you. But yeah, he looks really nice here. Very nice in this mode. Pulling off the Headmaster here. I don't think it was properly clipped in. Yeah, Headmaster, it does clip in properly now. Yeah, it's a little bit loose, but let's take a proper look at this Headmaster for a minute here. So the Headmaster here, this is not the first Horrible head we've gotten. We actually did get Horrible's head way, way back when in Titan's Return, just as a standalone head. You can see here that it is fully a different sculpt. This sculpt looks pretty good, honestly, this new one. It's definitely better than the old one. Yeah. Just transforming the head here into his little Headmaster partner. Let's see. It's just, you just fold that down and boom, there we have it. And I'm just looking at the face here. Yeah, it doesn't look like they actually really sculpted a face on this. It's just a visor. I think that it might be accurate. I think that actually might be accurate to how he was in to how he was in Master Force. I'm honestly not sure, but yeah, there is no face on this guy. He is faceless. And just put him on over here like that. I just want to get him there standing. I'm just curious now. I'm checking. I'm just checking to see what, because the only real fiction of note he had where he was a headmaster was Master Force. So I'm just kind of curious here, and with Bullhorn here, if he was like what the actual face looked like for the mech suit. And okay, it was more of a visor. It looks like on Bullhorn's design. It was more of a visor, so I guess this does work. I guess this does work a little bit. So anyway, let's show off articulation. Let's transform it, but let's also like do a quick comparison too, because we need to compare him to Skullcruncher before we really get going. You know, because he's a heavy retool of Skullcruncher. So pulling down Skullcruncher. This is the Takara version. This is the Transformers Legends Skull. Just to contrast, you can see just how much is the same and how much is different, and it is a lot. It is a lot. Really, the main similarity here is, yeah, actually, oh my God, there's a lot different. Holy cow. I'm just getting Skull standing up here. Let's see if I can get him to stand. Because, yeah, looking at these two here, like, actually, like, holy cow, look how different they are, like, as we spin around. Like, you can see there's common parts. Like, the thighs are the same. The knees are the same. What else is the same? Looks like the backpack is the same. They have yeah, I think there's some similarities in the backpack. Oh, no, the backpack's different. It's different. Okay, yeah, wow. This is the forearms are the same, I guess. It's the same forearms, but otherwise, this is an incredibly extensive retool. There are very few new parts, and you can see that like all the budget for this 4-pack went into like all the Horrible parts. And you know what? If this 4-pack was just an excuse to do Horrible, I am completely fine with that because it is finishing off a set, and Hasbro likes to finish sets. The current design team, they love finishing sets. Like seriously, like I can't believe just how different this is. I'm just grabbing a quick shot of that. Hold on. Like I can't believe how different these two look. Like it's you cannot tell me that these were the same toy if you just put them next to each other. I am genuinely shocked. Like yeah, it's just the thighs and the knees and the hips are all different. The waist is all different. Like there is okay, the back is the same piece it looks like. Yeah, it looks like this back piece is the same, but the actual door is new. It's a new door on the headmaster for the headmaster store. And but yeah, like even these hinges back, like oh my god, the amount of new sculpting that they did for this guy. Like he is pretty much almost entirely a new toy. It's incredible. It looks really good though. Oh, so let's transform him now. Let's transform this guy. So we're gonna have to pop out the headmaster because he won't transform with it. But yeah, let's see. So we got the bull horns. We're gonna bring this down like that. I'm just gonna bring the. I guess we can get the horns up like this. Yeah, because it's a bull. So. Or do I have the horns the right way? I'm just double checking that I've got them on the right way. No, no, this is right. This is right. Yeah, so we bring the horns around like that. You know, make them bull horns. Again, unfortunately, there's no way to get around the fact that you're going to spot these little bit of mold flash. I can probably get this one a little bit closer. But yeah, I can get that slightly smoother, but there's no way to avoid the fact that we have those little divots there. They're just sticking out. That is the biggest design weakness on this guy. But yeah, it's just going to be a case of, yeah, we fold up the wrists. Like, I think he's going to transform pretty similarly to, yeah, but again, it's insane how they got, like, it is freaking insane how they took, like, all these different headmasters and they just got completely new alt modes out of them. Just with a bunch of new parts. Like, Squeeze Play was really impressive last year, too. That Squeeze Play, like, or what's he called? Not Cancer, well, yeah, Cancer, I guess, in Japan. Like, it is crazy just how good Cancer is. And I had to say that because the fact that is like the silliest thing to say. There, you now have a quote of me saying it's crazy how good Cancer is. I mean, having said that, Cancer sucks. Cancer is the worst. I've had like family members who've had to go through that, and but not all of them made it. But yeah. Anyway, oh, I didn't even do articulation. What the hell am I doing? Yeah, I need to go back and do the articulation showcase this guy. Okay, so let's undo. We didn't go very far on this, so let's do the articulation show off. Oh my god. So anyway, for Horrible, let's look at his articulation. So I mean, what all do we got here? We have these big ball jointed shoulders up here. They don't do shoulders like that anymore, quite that heavy. Bicep swivel. We got 90-degree elbow bend here. We got a swivel here on the elbow too for the transformation. No wrist articulation, but I guess you can kind of swivel this around. Full waist. What else? Universal joints. Yeah, swivel. Very good range of motion there. What else? Full ankle tilts. And then of course, you know, like we got the headmaster there, which has its little ball jointed head there. So yeah, going back to transformation now. Again, we're gonna fold all this stuff up. Let's see. Yeah, it's crazy how much we have of Transformers and Master Force remade. We've got a lot of Master Force, the Master Force cast now. We got a good chunk of the Victory cast too. Like really, the main Victory holes that we have is like all Autobots. Like, because we just got like Star Saber and Victory Leo and Galaxy Shuttle, and we don't have any of the Micromaster combiners and stuff. So I really hope Hasbro does those at some point, because Landcross would be cool to get. It'd be really cool to get a new Landcross. But let's see. Anyway, these guys here, I'm just trying to figure out how this goes. Like, because we got these ankle tilts here, but I see there's another swivel over here. So these are going to swivel out, I think. Yeah, those swivel out. Okay. Yeah, this all swivels out like that. And now we can fold these up. Hmm. Yeah, these fold up like that. And how does this go? Yeah, because the legs are going to come down like this, and you can see here that there's a locking point for these legs, just just a soft lock for them to stay in place. But yeah, these legs, these are gonna, yeah, this is all gonna come together like that. This come down like that. These guys, do these really just sit there like that? I think they do. Really? Yeah, because this is the whole like upper body of the bowl. You can see that we got all that sculpting there. And then yeah, we just need to bring these down. I don't see a little locking point for these arms though. Unfortunately, unless there is one, but I'm missing. But I think this is. I think this is pretty much it. Yeah, and these legs come out here. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's. Am I missing something here? I guess the sculpting that is kind of like soft sculpted to allow to have these go in over here. But so then it would go like this. I'm just looking at this and going, it's like, well, really, these don't. Oh no, those do peg in. Okay, yeah, that does peg in over there. I think. Yes, and this guy here would come down as well, and also slot in over there. Yeah, so we do have some tabs and slots on these. Yeah, so that slots in there. Let's just get this in here. These come together like that. That all comes in against the body. And then I guess, yeah, we have, just need to position these legs. But yeah, I don't see a specific locking mechanism to these legs here. And I guess without further ado, okay, fold those up more. Fold those up all the way. Get this whole stuff in. Yeah, we don't have a tail here. But that is, I think that's pretty much it for Bullhorn's transformation, for how we do horrible. So yeah, I'm just gonna double check on weapon storage and stuff here, because that'll probably be on the box. Oh yes, the weapon becomes the tail, of course. Yeah, weapon becomes the tail on him. So yeah, this is gonna just plug in back here. I guess we can put it in that way. Does it go in this way? Oh yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, so there we have his tail. We have his little like bull tail. And again, like I remind you, this is a mold that originally was an alligator. They got a bull out of an alligator mold by just changing they only changed what, like 80% of the figure? They changed 80% of this figure for a 4-pack and gave us and just gave us a completely different animal, which is like really, really cool. I'm just trying to see if there is a trick for these legs. I don't see a locking point for the front legs. I think you just kind of have to just play by ear on these. But I mean, yeah, he looks really good. And then of course, yeah, we got the little headmaster here. We want to store that. We can just open this up here, and we got a little cockpit for him to slide into. Yep, it's even got some paint in. I think it's got a little bit of silver paint in the cockpit. It's got a bit of a sheen to it. So yeah, we can just put him in a sitting pose, bring him over there, close up the top of it there, and there. Now we have Bullhorn. We have Horrible in his alternate mode. I mean, he looks really good. He does look. It's crazy how much they changed on this guy. It is simply nuts. Like, and full credit. Like, he is very clearly the reason this 4-pack exists, because that's probably how they could justify doing the Titan's Return molds in this day and age, because budget-wise, these probably come in at a Voyager these days, to be realistic, which is kind of nuts to think about, but yeah. So I'm gonna put him with his squad mates here. I'm just gonna turn this off, put him with this, and show off articulation too. We got the legs there, but he also does have a little mouth that opens too. We can get the mouth open. It's not painted or anything, but we can give him an open mouth. And yeah, I mean, he looks good. Adjust the horns a little bit there if you want to adjust like how those sit on him. And then, yeah, and then these legs here can go, in and out. That's pretty much their limit over here. Like, it is a nice looking figure here. He is nice looking, and I'm going to put him with his fellow Decepticon Headmaster Juniors. So we got him there with Wilder. National Lampoon's Wilder. And where is Cancer? And we got him with Cancer right over here. Yeah. Let me just bring him up to the 4. Put Cancer back there. And put Wilder over here. And actually, I'm just seeing if I can get... How will they all turn? They won't. Wilder is not on this left turn. I'm just trying to see if I can get the turntable. Oh, there we go. There we got a turntable with... Oh, not really. There we go. Okay, we got them turning. We got them all turning. Excellent. But yeah, so there we have all 3 of the Headmaster Juniors all next to each other, all struggling to turn on this turntable that is like barely fitting all 3 of them. And yeah, they all look really good together. It's really cool to finish the set. Like, this is one of the sets I don't think any of us really thought Hasbro would actually like do all these guys. Like, it's honestly really, really cool that they did them all. Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. Like, oh, like, this is just, it is chef's kiss. Like, for people who complain about like Hasbro and stuff, like, this is the sort of thing where I will counterpoint and go, yeah, but the design team does care, and this is why. Yeah, I'm gonna transform all these guys back to alt mode shortly. So we're gonna do back to bot mode shortly. So we're gonna do another go round of them in just a sec. First though, I'm just gonna do some quick. I'm just throwing some quick photos up. Let's see. Just throwing some quick photos. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, seriously, it's kind of crazy that we have like most of the Decepticons at this point from Master Force. All right, so we're gonna start on this shortly, but yeah, I'm just looking over my shelf there and just like kind of amazed because yeah, we've gotten like Blood, we've gotten Skull, so the Decepticon Pretenders from Master Force. We just need one more of the I think it's Gilmer is the last one that we need. Is it Gilmer the last one we need? I'm just trying to remember there. I have the Master Force page open right here. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah. It's Gilmer. That's the last one that we need. Yeah, we have Blood, we have Doros, and we don't have Gilmer yet. So we just need one more. We need like one more of that set, and then we have all the Decepticon Pretenders from Master Force. We've got all the Headmaster Juniors from Master Force. We've got the Seacons. Yeah, and we've got. I guess we don't have Buster and Hydra. We do technically have Double Clouder because we got Double Dealer already And how do I not have him? Yeah. Okay, how do I not have my Master Force shelf? Okay, and we got that older Overlord. And then, of course, we got, like, Black Zarek. Like, it is insane how much of Master Force's Decepticons we have at this point. But yeah, we're going to put all these guys back in the bomb mode. So let's start, though, with, let's start with Horrible. And with that said, I am going to, like, when I do that final assessment, you know what? I'm going to pull this back out. Let's pull some things back out here. Let's put this back up. And I'm going to just pull this whole thing out, this whole turntable out, because you know what? It's going to get in the way. It's going to get in the way of setting up, like, all these toys. Because, yeah, let's just do a quick rundown of all the figures that we're going to be putting back into their alternate modes, because it's a lot. It's a good number of toys. It is a... Oh, and Magnus, too. It is a very good number of toys. We got to put all 8 of these guys back into their individual modes. So let's get to it, shall we? And we're going to start here with the most recent one we did here. We're going to start... Actually, I'm going to just... Hold up. I'm going to do a quick photo of all these guys in alt mode, too. Because why not? Why not take photos? Because is why not. So let's see. All right. Capture toy screen. All right. Anyway. We are going to start with Horrible. And again, I am super jazzed that we actually have this entire set of characters all made now. It is an oh my god type thing. And oh, this is actually one thing I will say too. I didn't even think about this with compared to Skullcruncher. Like the new feet. Skullcruncher is a pain to stand because all he has for support is like this bit here and his toes. So you probably saw already he doesn't actually stand very well. Like he tilts back very easily. Yeah, he does not because he has actual heal support here. He has much better heal support, so he's going to stand much better than Skullcruncher. But yeah, it's a very similar transformation, though. We flip these around, out. Yeah, flip these around, out. Like, very simple transformation. Like, it's very G1, I suppose. I don't think the Headmaster Juniors were ever very complex figures. Because, yeah, it's just this. Then you just close that up. You know, bring these horns up like that. Again, that was kind of a bit of a dumb decision on theirs, I think. And then, yeah, then we just bring the Headmaster back out. Yeah, legs. Do these fold up anymore? I think these just go down like this. Yeah, gun. And yeah. Again, there's like one of those obscure characters that most people have no reason to ever care about. But if you're trying to complete sets, it makes sense. Yeah, like, God. Yeah, he has ankle tilts. Again, Skullcruncher did not really have ankle tilts. Like, he is just an upgrade on Skullcruncher in every way, in terms of, like, what he does. And he looks really good. He looks really good. And then we got Ultra Magnus next. Sorry, Nemesis Prime next. Nemesis Prime, who is just going to shift up, bring this all around. Let's see, detach the legs. Again, I love the leg transformation on this guy. Optimus Prime molds, I noticed, tend to have like very, very interesting leg transformations because they all work a bit differently. And it's always very cool to see how the legs are done in order to make them like look as clean as possible, but still make them look like the back of a truck. And I mean, he kind of fails a little bit on the back of a truck, but the leg transformation is still an incredibly cool one. Like, it's kind of a bit of a fakey back of the truck, if I were to be honest. But hey. Yeah, and then this all... But I really like... I mentioned this back when Optimus came out on stream. I do... Oh, that popped out. I do really like with this guy just how he manages to have that whole, like, rearrangement of his silhouette. And just with how he... just with some of the steps there with how, like, just the... how we get the whole curvature. Like, yeah, if I bring that up there. Let's bring this back in here. Like, just... Yeah, like this all comes down. Yeah, this all comes down like that there. And it's just, yeah, just the way that this all like folds into the side. I just remember how this unlocks. Right, you need to untab that to unlock this. But just like how this all comes down and this entire like thing just has a curved shape when you lock it all in place, and just gives him this whole non-straight torso. Like that is a very Transformers animated aesthetic. Just doing these like softer lines on the actual torso, and it's great. It just like aesthetically, it just looks really cool. Ah, there we go. That wasn't in all the way. Yeah, so it looks really good there. Just having this this curvature to his entire body shape. And then yeah, then we just lock this in over here. Bring the head up and pop his arms out. These nice green hands. Like just aesthetically, this guy is just singing right now. He is singing. This toy is freaking singing. It's just a very, very good deco. Like, is it less interesting because it's like an all black one? Not really, because it's a really good all black one. Yeah, and there we have him with his, axe. Yeah, again, like he feels like he was probably the most expensive part of the set because they pretty much made a new toy for him. And that is probably why you have characters like Magnus in there who has like absolutely no changes, and Bumper who just has the new head, because they like a lot of these all, and he probably just has an alternate face that was on the original, but this all exists essentially as cost savings in order to use the entire budget of the 4-pack to make a new Horrible, which they did a very good job of. And right, I forgot I was going to do Bumper first. So let's get this all out. Oh, hey, it's the Master Force theme. Just an instrumental. Yeah, so these guys come down here. Like for the souls. This all comes down. These guys fold out. Souls clip in. Like again, like some, and I love just how like little steps like that with how those souls there keep the feet off the ground so he doesn't like roll around on wheel feet. Like there's just so many great little steps in this guy. It's a very good toy, this 86 Bumblebee. I mean, hell, like it's just amazing engineering on some of these figures. And I guess the nice part too about the Mean Retools is like, like I've messed with this. Yeah, it's another figure that I already own once, but hey, it means I can show this off really quickly on stream because I transformed this before, so I just need to remember how it goes. And everything locks together nicely on this mold too. Like, yeah, there we're done. There's Bumper. He looks really good. Bumper looks really good over here. It's a nice Bumper. It's cool that Hasbro finally gave us like a Bumper with a unique head sculpt and stuff too. All right, Ultra Magnus next. Let's see. Unclip all this stuff here. We need to get the arms out. Really, the arms are the magic on this figure, because it's like the arms are kind of 90% of the transformation on this toy. Like it's a very simple toy, but it doesn't need to be complex. The entire thing, like it kind of trades in its simplicity, I gotta say. Yeah, so we got those arms there. And then then we can flip this entire head out. Like so, close this up. Again, like that is a nice thing that's an upgrade from the original, because the original did not had just like a big opening there. But they were piloted mecha, so it's a bit of a different story. Lore-wise, all the Diaclone guys were piloted mecha. Oh, and a detail I forgot to mention here, he does have rubberized tires. They gave him full-on rubberized tires. Like this is just a softer plastic, and you just slot it back on there. It's a really cool step. Really cool aesthetic thing. But yeah, we just give him his gun again. Yeah, so give him the gun. And yeah, it's just tight because of that whole layer of paint. Give him a gun, give him an axe. And I'm just gonna put his other gun back over here. So yes, there we have Ultra Magnus back there. So that's all the 4-pack guys retransformed back into their bot modes. And now we get to go into the other fun ones. We got Sea Spray here, who this Sea Spray is amazing. Yeah, I was not. I figured it would be good Sea Spray. I was not expecting him to be this good. Like he does a lot. Sea Spray is doing way more than he needed to by any right. This is just someone who knows what they're doing from an engineering standpoint. Like I'm not sure which Takara engineer it was, but they were showing off whoever it was that handled Sea Spray. They were absolutely showing off with this guy in terms of just with how elaborate he is. Like no one expected the Sea Spray to be this quite this elaborate. Like just look at even the way these legs transform here for like just as these come down. Like this all just comes down like that there. Yep. Yeah, this all just comes around. Hmm. Let's see. Yeah, those just go there. This guy folds up here. These come over top. And then yeah, again, like just have this whole accordion here of how all these parts here just all this just folds in to give him like these smaller shoes. It's great. It's fantastic. He gets this much smaller shoe footprint as a result. Just putting this back on because this popped off. Yeah, like look at how much smaller these booties all get. And like and in getting smaller, it fills in a lot of the hollowness on the booties too. It's fantastic. Like yeah, just like look at how filled in all these little boots are here. There's not much hollowness left. You kind of just got rid of it all. And then yeah, and then we go to the chest here where we have this whole guy swings around down here to form the the Sea Spray beer gut. And then these guys can swing up as well. And yeah, amidst all that, we take these legs out. We bring this in, we unpeg this waist. Yeah, it's pegged in pretty well. Yeah, this whole waist has to unpeg here from the chest and come down like that. This all just swings down like this here. And then these guys just come back in and compact in and fill in the beer gut. Yeah, like just look at like, yeah, just how much all this compacts. It's just amazing. Oh, it is so good. It is so good. And then yeah, we take all this up here. This all swings around. Yeah, this all comes back down over here. Bring the arms up in here. I'm just trying to get this around the way it should go because this all needs to come down and around. Yeah, I think it just goes down like this here. Yeah, this all comes down like this here. This just comes in, fills in the back. Like the fact that this all fills in the back like that, and then he's got a little 5mm port there too in the back, so you can like, if you want to say like pop his weapon back. Oh no, you can't really pop his weapon back there. It doesn't really fit, but yeah, you could say like slot something in there if you wanted though. But yeah, all this here, and then we just bring these guys around, give him his elbows. I am looking forward to when we get another release of this mold here. Be it like like maybe they'll probably do at some point like a studio series style Sea Spray that has like the actual accurate like cartoon face, and that'll look really good too. But it is a really good Sea Spray. This is a crazy good Sea Spray, and this is easily among my favorite things that I opened today. I think Horrible is up there. Sea Spray might be my favorite of the ones I opened today, which is kind of nuts to say. It is kind of insane to contemplate that freaking Sea Spray might be my favorite of the day. And oh, I forgot about a gun. Okay, because Horrible has another gun. I forgot about this. It just got lost at the back there. But yeah, he has another gun. Yeah. I mean, this one I think is the more toy accurate gun. But yeah, he's got two guns. And I think that gun is, yeah, that's just Skullcruncher gun. So it's not really anything special. It's just Skullcruncher's gun. All right, Brawn. Brawn, let's do Brawn as well too. Brawn. He is a nice simple toy, and Brawn again is a great thesis statement on why, like with Sea Spray, he is a fantastic thesis statement in terms of why they did all these mini bots as deluxes, because yeah, he really makes use of all the engineering budget in order to make this nice compact little toy that doesn't have a lot of like hollow parts. Everything compacts up very nicely. It's got a crazy amount of articulation. There's a few sacrifices for the transformation, like the lack of wrists, but I don't think anyone really minds that because of how good this toy is. Like, Brawn and Gears are both crazy good toys. I keep forgetting exist because they are both they just are very good. They are very good They are very, very good toys that are just have more interesting transformations than they by any right needed to be. And then, yeah, then we just bring this out here. Do I swap the waist around, I think? Yeah. Waist comes around like that. Yeah, so there we have, fold this all up in the back. That goes like that there. And then, yeah, and then we just pull the gun out. Yeah, there we go. And there we have Brawn. There we have the Thirst Mutilator himself, the Brondo. Yeah, but yeah, he looks really good there. All right, and next we have Sideways and Excellion. Yeah, so Sideways. Sideways does a lot. Sideways is very much like he's not. I wouldn't call him an upgrade or a downgrade of the original. Ironically, I would call him a Sideways of the original. And the big Sideways thing is the fact that to transform him, rather than these parts all staying on, these all come off. That being said, that does free up a lot of our room for articulation on the actual toy. And he does transform pretty differently too. Like the big difference here is the waist. The waist no longer splits as part of the transformation, which means he also gets a waist joint out of it. So like legs transform differently. Like we no longer have those bits on the side there that these guys causes these guys to just swivel around. We just plop these guys back on. Like the only thing he's really missing is just some of the green paint on the original. Like he's got a little bit less paint, but yeah. Yes, we got all this here. We got a Jerwalk mode, I guess. And then yeah, then we need to just do all the gymnastics in the torso, which I really like. It's a really cool torso transformation. So this all swings down here, which then lets this whole guy swing back like that. We can then bring the arms out like so. Bring everything around. Adjust the wrists. Because you do need to adjust the wrists for transformation. But hey, he has wrists still. That's great. Yeah, so these guys come down here. And then we do the head. Head is just comes up like the original. This all comes around, down, lock in like that. Fold this in. And yeah, we got the legs there. I've got the heels extended. He's got ankle tilts, unlike the original, which is great. But yeah, this is pretty much it for side. Oh, no, I don't have him quite transformed yet. No, he's not quite done. Because this comes back down now, and then this comes forward again, and then these come back down. And yeah, it's a really good sideways transformation. Like, it's cool how they found different steps for the same toy. It's really interesting how they did that. Like, they found different ways to transform this guy. And again, I like that he still has the faction swap gimmick. I do actually really like that it's not tied to a cyber key for once. I miss the spring-loaded gimmick on the cyber key, but I do not miss the faction symbol swap being locked to the cyber key. Yeah, so we can do that there, and there we have like your classic sideways. You have your classic sideways. He's got like all the articulation of the original, a little more articulation than the original, and that is really the big selling point, that he is a more articulated toy. He's a little bit smaller than the original, interestingly, but yeah, he has a much better articulated figure. All right, and then last but not least, we have Excellion. We have We have the Hotshot retool himself. Sorry, repaint. And yeah, and it is just a really nice toy. So yeah, like it's very much a this whole mold is very much a Hot Rod homage there, like with the Dome Zero style like windshield. So yeah, so we bring the arms out like that. And then we need to unpeg the backpack, which will let us be able to separate the legs and then open all this stuff up so we can accordion the legs. And again, like there's a lot of things I think are genuine upgrades on Excellion's transformation, which is just a difference in how they do things in toys. The big thing being the accordioning of the legs. On the original, it was all spring-loaded, and honestly, the spring-loaded stuff is not durable with time, and it requires you to put a lot of pressure on the toys. Whereas the accordion style works just as well. It saves them on parts, it saves them on plastic. Yeah, flip the toes out. Flip the toe out. All right, separate these, bring these down. Backpack. Backpack comes up. Oh wait, no, the backpack flips around, rotates. Right. I'm just trying to remember how this goes. Because I can't. Okay, how does this go again? Yes, this all comes down here. Backpack, because this needs to come up. I'm just looking at this and going, it's like, oh, how does this come up? It's stuff is in the way. Ah, does this transform again? Either the head's gonna come out, but oh, I think that this. Oh, right, this whole thing opens, I think, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember because the back. Yeah, this all needs to rotate around. How is this work again? God, how am I forgetting how toys work? That I just transformed like an hour ago. Because this whole thing, yeah, this whole assembly needs to come up. I see exactly how it's supposed to go. Maybe it's that I need to, yeah, that has to come up like that. And then we can rotate all this around. Get that whole backpack down here. Get this guy sitting out like that. And then we do the step that I missed the last time I transformed this guy, which is that this piece comes out here and this just slides in over there and that locks the backpack in place very securely. Yeah, that lock just comes down, clicks in, locks this backpack in, and then it will not get, and the backpack has enough space that it will not get in the way with anything. So yeah, then we just bring the arms down. Like, yeah, like Excellion feels like an absolute upgrade over the original Excellion toy. He's got some of the same flaws as the original Excellion. Like, I mean, for instance, like he's got this giant kibble down here, which can kind of move, I guess. Kibble can kind of move, but that's just always been a feature of this design, that he has this giant kibble like underneath his arms. And there's not really much you can do about that. But yeah, no, he looks really good. He poses pretty well. We give him his gun. And yeah, I mean, I guess we can fold that down there, make sure that gets out of the way of his gun. Yeah, he looks really good. It's a nice Excellion. So yeah, I'm just adjusting this. That is everybody that was on my docket for today for toys to unbox. Yeah, and there's some good ones in here. There's some good ones in there. I think ultimately, Sea Spray is definitely the winner of the ones we opened today. I would probably put Sideways after that. I'd do Sideways, then I would say Horrible would be next. And then we'd probably get into Nemesis Prime. Then I think I would go Brawn, Excellion, Bumper, Ultra Magnus. But like, they're all good toys. They're all good toys, and I can decrement this now. Sweet. We are back below 50 for toys to unbox. Excellent. But yeah, these are all fantastic figures. These are all fantastic toys. That 4-pack is very good value for money, and considering what you're getting in there, you're getting like you're getting like a Voyager, you're getting 2 Deluxes, you're getting like an older 10-year-old Deluxe that's like 80% a new toy for the sake of finishing up a set of semi-obscure G1 characters, which is like the best thing to do. That is like absolutely the best rationale to possibly do this set, and it's fantastic. Fantastic rationale. So with that said, now that we've looked at all these guys, let's go and find ourselves someone to raid out to. I don't really want to do much more. We've been going like we got a few hours. We've been going a few hours. That's probably a good place to end it. So let's see who is live among people I know. Let's see. Oh, right. Zaren's doing that today. I forgot about that. Zaren's doing his design appreciation. So we're going to go into that. He's doing his design appreciation for different VTuber and OC designs. So we are going to go and raid Zaren. We're going to go raid Zaren for that. So I actually forgot to submit one. I'll have to see if there's still time or not, but if there's not, there's not. But yeah, thank you everyone who came by today. I know this was a very last minute stream, but I am absolutely going to be doing another toy stream next week. We're going to do some more Genshin streaming next week too. Or rather, I guess this week. I guess technically it would be this week. But we are absolutely going to be doing some more. We're going to be doing Devastator next week. We're going to be doing HasLab Devastator. And I'm really looking forward to getting that one done. At long last, like I've got all the parts. I just need to put them all together. So yeah, we're gonna raid out. Thank you all so much for coming by today. Thank you all for coming by to this impromptu stream that completely changed like 2 hours before it started in terms of what I was opening. And with that said, this is gonna be General Techno signing off. Until next time, everyone, have yourselves a good day.